Chapter 371. Just as Fong Ping checked into the inn, 100 miles away from gigantic Willow City, three figures flashed across the sky like lightning. Li Hansong gasped for breath, his face full of grief and indignation. I asked you to recuperate, but you insisted on making a fortune. Look at what happened now. Behind him, dozens of experts were chasing after him. Li Hansong was not stupid. The other party had found them so quickly and had been following them. Even if they hid, they would be discovered soon. In fact, he had already realized something. Seeing that Wang Jinyang and Qin Fengqing were both carrying huge bags, Li Hansong couldn't help but say, "Throw them away, or else they won't be able to escape." "I won't." Qin Fengqing gave a muffled grunt. "You'll die." "I won't throw it away, even if I die." Li Hansong had a bitter look on his face. Did he want money more than his life? If he didn't throw it away, he would really die. Wang Jinyang was slightly more reliable than Qin Fengqing. He panted and said, "Take out that energy stone. The three of us will absorb as we run. Absorb as much as we can." Li Hansong could not help but say, "That energy stone's purity isn't high enough. There are too many impurities. It's fine. Just absorb more and clean up the impure energy later." Wang Jinyang appeared to be very experienced. He quickly said, "Although it's a waste, it's much faster than cultivating on your own. Don't worry, there won't be any side effects." Then, before Li Hansong could finish, Qin Fengqing had already taken out an energy stone and started to absorb it frantically. As for the impurities, so what? He could absorb more now and spend some time to clean it up later. At least it would be faster than cultivating on his own. Without hesitation, Wang Jinyang grabbed the energy stone and quickly absorbed it. Seeing this, Li Hansong couldn't help but say, "Leave a place for me. You guys are running so fast, I can't keep up." It was embarrassing to talk about it. He couldn't run as fast as Qin Fengqing. Qin Fengqing turned his head and was a little disdainful. After thinking about it, he smiled and didn't look down on him anymore. It was better if he ran slowly. If he ran fast, then Iron Headley wouldn't be of much use. Li Hansong managed to catch up with them with much difficulty. He grabbed the energy stone and started absorbing it while panting. "After we lose the energy stone, let's find a place to hide for a few days. Let's see if Fong Ping will come looking for us." "Come on, do you expect him to find us? Do you really think he'll come looking for us? That kid might be roaming around somewhere right now." Qin Fengqing exposed him and said, "Rather than waiting for him to find us, we might as well wait at the entrance of the passageway. Who knows? He might have already snuck into the city to eat and drink to his heart's content." "It can't be, right? Forget it if you don't believe me." Qin Fengqing felt that if he had Fong Ping's secret skill, he would have entered the city a long time ago. Who would still be loitering in the wilderness? Although Li Hansong felt that what Qin Fengqing said did not seem to be true, but when he thought about Qin Fengqing and Wang Jinyang, and then thought about Fong Ping, who was on good terms with both of them, it was not impossible. Sigh. "I shouldn't have come." Li Hansong sighed in his heart. None of them were very reliable. In the inn, Fong Ping crouched under the bed, lifting up the stone floorboard under the bed. His mentality probed a little, and then his pupils contracted slightly. "There are roots underground. I knew it would be like this." He scanned the area with his psychic power and found that the roots that were full of energy underground seemed to have a weak reaction. One must know that this inn was several thousand meters away from the inner city. The inner city was also very big. The willow tree monster's main root system was not here at all. It was at least 10 li away from Fong Ping. "I can't release my mentality or vitality. If I trigger the willow tree monster's reaction, I'll definitely die. Old man Li, I can't bring you down with me. Although your vitality is weak, it's still there. You'll be easily attacked, and you'll be skewered like a kebab. There are martial artists from the catacombs who came here to mine. Most of them are dead. Not only are there willow tree monsters' roots underground, but there are also gigantic willow city guards. I'll see if I can snatch a part of the energy essence. Once I get it, we'll run. If I don't come back, you'll probably die too. Good luck." Fong Ping did not leave Old Man Li outside the city. He was not familiar with this place. If he left him outside the city, he might not be able to find him. Moreover, He did not know if he would have the chance to find him. It was safer to bring him here. At least he would not be eaten by monsters. I'll go down first. After Fong Ping said that, the meatball trembled for a moment. Fong Ping patted him and said in a low voice, "Don't move. I won't die so easily. Even rank 7 and 8 aren't as safe as me." He could shield all auras just like a dead object. If not for the fact that he did not want to stand out, he did not need to gather energy particles on the surface of his body at all. A lifeless, dead object, just like a rock, the probability of being discovered was extremely low. Of course, whether he could hide it from a rank 9, Fong Ping did not know. He did not find a chance to test it either. However, at this time, he could only trust the system to be famous. "I'm going down." Fong Ping placed the bed board properly. He did not put Old Man Li on the bed, but tossed him to a corner. The more casual he was, the fewer people would care. Old Man Li could only pray for himself. At this time, Fong Ping did not use his saber to dig. He used his hands to dig. The soil that he dug out was stored in his storage space. After digging for a while, he sent the compacted soil back to the surface. Then, Fong Ping continued to dig. Along the way, he encountered some crystal-clear roots. However, these roots were like dead objects. They did not move at all. Fong Ping was careful. He did not dare to touch them. He tried his best to avoid contact with the roots. Humans might not care about ants crawling under their feet. At this moment, Fong Ping tried his best to make himself appear even more insignificant than the ants. This way, the willow tree monster would not notice him. Fortune is found in danger. Swaying under the eyes of a rank 9 will give me the right to brag in the future. The willow tree monster should be a rank 9. It might even be a powerful rank 9. Right now, he was equivalent to swaying under its feet. Exciting enough, right? Along the way, Fong Ping did not encounter a water source. The soil underground was dry and not moist enough. As expected, there are mineral deposits, and they're not too deep. If the energy mine was a few hundred meters underground, water should have come out by now. It should be below. Fong Ping dug with his bare hands. After digging for a while, when he felt his hands touching something hard, Fong Ping's eyes flashed with joy. As expected, the energy mine was not deep. At this moment, Fong Ping had become a clay figurine. However, Fong Ping did not care. He did not even move the soil up. He began surging forward along the periphery of the soil and stones. At this moment, Fong Ping felt that it was a pity that his skull was not honed properly. Otherwise, like Li Hansong, he could dig a tunnel on his head. It would be more convenient. Surging forward along the direction of the mineral vein, Fong Ping's gaze gradually changed. No wonder no one could enter the underground to mine. Underground, some hollow areas gradually appeared, and these areas were densely covered with crystal-clear roots. These roots weaved an incomparably huge cage, enveloping the entire mineral vein. It looked like there was no movement, but once it sensed a threat, these roots would instantly turn into killing weapons. The martial artists from the catacombs are quite daring. There are even people who dare to come and steal mines. If the Monster Plant City is like this, then wouldn't the Monster Life City be easier to steal? As Fong Ping moved forward, the underground seemed to brighten. Some mixed and impure energy ores emitted a faint light. It was not the light that was refracted by the sun. Energy ores did not rely on this to emit light, but the faint light that existed on their own. Although the purity of these ores was not high, the quantity was incalculable. This was not a problem of 1 or 2 pieces. Instead, it was like a mountain range spreading out in all directions everywhere. Fong Ping did not look too long. These energy ores of too low purity could not be taken away by him. He continued to dig deeper. The further he went, the more cautious Fong Ping became. The energy in front was getting richer, which meant that he was nearing the inner city. There were many powerhouses in the inner city. Although he was now 10 to 20 meters deep underground, and there were no energy fluctuations, it would be troublesome if he was heard by others if he made too much noise. Fong Ping carefully wriggled. He did not go near the energy ores but penetrated the soil above. The mineral vein below was densely covered with roots, and they were hard enough. Fong Ping did not want to make too much noise. He continued to wriggle forward. Fong Ping did not know how long he had been crawling. Sometimes, when he felt that something was wrong, Fong Ping would stop. When he wriggled again, he felt that there was nothing in front of him. Fong Ping was shocked and hurriedly grabbed the falling soil in front of him. A passageway appeared in front of him. At this moment, Fong Ping had already entered the mining area. Underground, it was all bright. The royal city's energy ores were also constantly being mined. They were not completely unused, or else the royal city martial artists would not have the resources to cultivate. After listening for a moment, he could vaguely hear some noises in the distance. It could be the patrolling team, or it could be the mining personnel. I've really entered the old nest. Fong Ping suppressed the palpitation in his heart and carefully descended from the hole above. The surroundings were still densely covered with roots, but there was no movement. After landing on the ground and standing in the passageway, Fong Ping was not in a hurry to check the situation. He hurriedly patched up the hole above, as if it had never appeared. After patching up the hole, Fong Ping moved forward carefully. After a few steps, Fong Ping's eyes lit up. There were irregular energy ores embedded in all directions of the passageway. That was not all. Inside the passageway, there were also large amounts of energy ores that had been mined. However, the purity was not high, and some of them seemed to have been cut. Could it be? Fong Ping seemed to think of something, and after a while, he had a vague guess. The low-purity energy ores mined by the nearby martial artists might have been put into the underground mineral vein after being exchanged. The mineral vein was rich in energy. Some of the energy released by the high-purity energy ores was used by the people of the royal city for cultivation. Some was absorbed and stored by the willow tree monster, and some became the energy source for nurturing these low-purity energy ores. After a few years, these low-purity energy ores might become high-purity cultivation energy ores. Sustainable development, huh? No wonder the mineral vein in the royal city was endless. It seemed that the martial artists of the catacombs were not completely without a plan. The mineral vein outside the royal city had been found, and then it had been completely mined. The mineral vein inside the royal city only mined high-purity cultivation-aiding energy ores. Low-purity ores would not be mined. They would wait for the energy to be absorbed and nurtured. The passageway that Fong Ping had taken might have been abandoned a long time ago. Perhaps the high-purity energy ores had been mined out in the past, and now there were no signs of human habitation. Only some low-purity energy ores were scattered inside the passageway. In the past, seeing so many energy ores underground, Fong Ping would not care about the purity. He would have picked them up long ago. Now, however, Fong Ping did not move. It was not until he saw an energy ore with a high purity, possibly at the level of a cultivation-aiding energy, or that Fong Ping squatted down and carefully checked the roots around him. Gritting his teeth, he instantly put the energy ore into his storage space. The roots were still motionless. Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed that these roots had not reached the level of Heaven's Eye. They might be able to sense the lack of energy, but compared to the huge mineral vein, one less energy ore was nothing. No wonder there are still guards. If I rely on this unreliable willow tree monster, it might have been emptied long ago. After walking for a while, Fong Ping's ears twitched, and he carefully leaned against a depression in the passageway. He pressed his ear against the wall of the passageway. He could vaguely hear footsteps coming from the passageway next door, accompanied by the voices of the catacombs people talking. The fountain of life is about to open. After we're done with this, we'll find a good place to wait for the tide of life to erupt. This time, we might be able to take the opportunity to rush to level 5. There's not much hope unless we can get close to the fountain of life. But in the center are a few venerables and the chieftains, and outside are the generals. We can only cultivate in the periphery. That's still better than usual. When we reach level 5, we can also enter the high-ranked lifestone vein to cultivate. Then, cultivation will be much faster than now. Maybe we don't have to reach level 5. This time, many generals have fallen. To replenish their strength, The king might let us enter the high-ranked area to cultivate in advance. Are you sure? More or less. The two people in the passageway next door were generally throwing low-ranked energy stones into the passageway as they conversed in low voices. Fong Ping listened for a while and deduced that this was probably the abandoned outer mine passageway. The real core area was probably still deeper. The fountain of life was also in the depths, and it looked like it would open soon. After waiting for a while, footsteps came from the opposite side again. The footsteps gradually faded away, and Fong Ping also walked out of the depression. He pondered for a moment and continued walking forward. The underground was so big. Even if there were guards, they would not be everywhere. He would find an opportunity to get closer to the core area. If he could not get to the core area, he could not get close to the fountain of life. Even if he could not steal the fountain of life, if he could take away some high-purity energy stones, this trip would not be in vain. Fong Ping, who did not have the slightest energy fluctuation, seemed inconspicuous in the energy-filled passageway. Fong Ping felt a little regretful. If this had an invisibility function, he could walk to the core area openly, snatch the fountain of life, and put it in the storage space. The enemy might not be able to find him. Now, although he could not sense it, he was still here. He could still be seen with the naked eye, and it was still very dangerous. What a pity! Fong Ping muttered in his heart. He could already see the passageway's exit. He pricked up his ears and listened for a moment. When he did not hear any unusual sounds, he carefully walked out and explored his surroundings. Although he did not know where the core area was, in an energy mine he did not have to think so much. The closer he was to the high-purity energy stone area, the denser the energy was. Fong Ping could still judge this. Chapter 372. At the same time, deep underground. Right now, Willow King was not around. The person presiding over the opening of the Fountain of Life was a rank 8 venerable, with a few rank 7 chieftains standing behind him. In yesterday's battle, other than the few who died, the 2 rank 8s were fine, recovering from their injuries extremely quickly. However, the few rank 7s suffered from the aftermath of a few self-detonations and sustained significant injuries. Right now, the rebirth passageway was still stable. If more people from the land of rebirth came, the few injured chieftains would not be able to fight with all their might. If it were any other day, Willow King and the tutelary would not agree to open the Fountain of Life to heal their injuries. However, at this time, opening the Fountain of Life was necessary. The Fountain of Life that everyone was talking about was currently in the middle of an underground hall. In the middle of the underground hall, there seemed to be a crystal-clear waterfall suspended in midair. The waterfall fell from the sky, but it did not fall, stopping abruptly in midair. Behind the rank 8 powerhouse, a rank 7 chieftain could not help but look envious, saying softly, "If we can keep cultivating in the Fountain of Life, perhaps we can forge an indestructible body in no time." As soon as he said that, the chieftains beside him showed a look of yearning. The waterfall in front was all the energy purified by the tutelary in the mining area of life for so many years. Once they were allowed to absorb it without restraint, perhaps it would not take long for them to forge a golden body and step into rank 8. With so much energy, if the tutelary did not seal it, once it came into contact with the outside world, it would quickly turn into countless high-ranked life stones. Even to them, high-ranked life stones were not dispensable. If they relied on themselves to absorb energy, even in an environment like the catacombs, to absorb so much energy might take hundreds or even thousands of years. The rank 8 powerhouse in front heard the chieftain's conversation, but did not take it seriously. How could they let them cultivate without restraint? These life essences were purified by Willow deity again and again, absorbing and gathering over countless years. In fact, it was prepared for them to go one step further and become a supreme king. Both Willow deity and Willow King wanted to go one step further and had been preparing for it. Unfortunately, they were still a little short and could not enter the supreme. Otherwise, these energies would have been used for a breakthrough long ago. Now that they could open at once to heal their injuries, who knew how much life essence would be lost? If it was not for the fact that the land of rebirth powerhouses could walk out of the passageway at any time, they could not expect Willow King and the others to agree to open it. While they were talking, the energy waterfall floating in the air started to ripple. An invisible wave began to spread out. "It's about to start," the level 8 expert said in a low voice. In order to prevent the life essence from flowing away, the waterfall in midair had always been wrapped in a layer of sealed channel solidified by spiritual strength. The so-called opening of the spring of life was to open a door outside the solidified mental energy channel and let the energy flow out. Once the spring of life opens, everyone must absorb it and heal as quickly as possible. The rank 8 powerhouse reminded, Sir Tutelary must maintain the stability of the stronghold and prevent it from shattering. The fountain of life has dispersed. Everyone must hurry, or else Sir will close the passageway at any time. If a hole was opened in the wall of solidified mental power, other parts of the wall might also collapse. Once it shattered, a portion of the energy essence would disperse, while another portion would quickly turn into high-grade energy stones. No matter how pure an energy stone was, it could not compare to the essence of the current energy. It was easy to destroy, but hard to maintain stability. Even the willow tree monster had to expend a lot of energy to maintain the stability of the outer barrier, so that its energy essence only flowed out through the opening. Especially now that Willow King was not in the city. If there was an unexpected situation, it would be even more troublesome. After the rank 8 powerhouse reminded them, the few chieftains immediately said, "Thank you for the reminder, Venerable Maple. Get ready. The rest of you, disperse. When the spring of life opens later, how much you can absorb depends on your luck." No matter how rich the energy was, it depended on how much you could absorb. If you absorbed too little, the effect would not be great. If you absorbed too much, you might have indigestion and die from overeating. Over the years, the spring of life had opened 3 times, and many people had died from overeating. As soon as the words were spoken, everyone below agreed and dispersed, distributed around the hall. At this moment, the martial artists who could enter the hall were at least rank 5, and most of them were peak rank 5 martial artists. The rest were rank 6 powerhouses. As for the other rank 4 and 5 martial artists, they were guarding the passageway outside. Every time the spring of life opened, some underground monsters would attack. In order to absorb the energy, these monsters were no longer afraid of the tutelary Sora. However, the truly powerful monsters would not take risks. They were usually low-ranked and had low intelligence. Just as everyone in the hall was preparing for the opening of the spring of life. At this moment, Fong Ping had also entered the court area. In front of him, there were a few passageways. Outside each passageway, there were martial artists guarding. Although their abilities were not too strong, mostly rank 4s and a few rank 5s, it still gave Fong Ping a headache. It was not impossible for him to kill these people. However, if he killed these people, the commotion would be too big and attract the attention of the powerhouses inside. That would be troublesome. How do I get in? Fong Ping frowned. Moreover, after entering, if he really obtained the energy essence, how to escape was also a problem. At this moment, he still did not know the specific situation inside. However, there must be a high-rank powerhouse there. If he was not careful, he would be discovered. If he was discovered, although he could conceal his aura so that the other party could not detect him, if they saw him, they would still kill him. This is not considered stealing, it's considered robbery. The more Fong Ping thought about it, the more his head hurt. However, now the arrow was knocked on the bow and had to be released. If he did not rob it at least once, Old Man Li might not be able to be saved. Even if he could be saved if he maintained this state for too long, Old Man Li might not be able to hold on. Even if he was saved, he might not live for long. Hiding at the fork, Fong Ping stared at the martial artists guarding the passageway for a while. After a while, Fong Ping heard someone say loudly, "The fountain of life is about to open. Everyone be on guard, in case the monsters attack." Lord Yi Mu, the monsters underground have long been wiped out. No monsters will attack, right? It's rare for the fountain of life to open. Do you think we can cultivate? Shut up. If you spoil the master's plans, You must die. After the fountain of life opens, there will still be life essence left. It's not too late to cultivate. That Lord Yi Mu left quickly. Fong Ping heard the martial artists guarding start to complain. They could not cultivate when it opened. If they cultivated after it ended, they would not even be able to get a sip of soup. The few of them discussed in low voices. Later, they would take turns to cultivate. As for the matter of guarding, they just had to pretend. Royal City had been established for so many years. Most of the low-rank monsters nearby had been killed. The high-rank monsters did not dare to take the risk to come here. They would lose their lives just to absorb some life essence. Those high-rank monsters would not do such a thing. Is it going to open? Fong Ping scratched his head. Although he did not know the specific details, he could tell from the information from everyone's mouths that after it opened, it would be difficult to open it again. It might be difficult to get the fountain of life that was not opened. Fong Ping was not completely clueless about this. Special methods were needed to store the energy essence. It might be sealed somewhere, and he might not be able to get it. Only when it opened would he have a chance. Right. Now that these guys are thinking about the opening of the fountain of life, will they let their guard down for the high-purity cultivation 8 energy stone mining area? If it doesn't work, I can scoop up some high-purity energy stones and leave. It's not a loss. Also, it's not easy to deal with it opening so soon. The people from Nanjiang might not come now. It's troublesome. Fong Ping exhaled softly and looked around. After thinking for a while, he suddenly took out his chaos-vanquishing saber, found a secluded place, and started digging. This was a mining area. Even if the willow tree monster noticed the commotion, it would not care, right? It would not be to the extent that the willow tree monster would pay attention to every place, every time it mined. No matter how strong its mentality was, it would not be able to maintain a 24-hour surveillance all the time. In reality, in order to open the fountain of life, the willow tree monster's attention was not on this place, but on the fountain of life. At this moment, even if Fong Ping really cut off some of its roots, the willow tree monster might not care about him. The chaos-vanquishing saber was worthy of being an A-class weapon. Even if there were energy stone mines and rocks below, Fong Ping still quickly dug a deep hole. Fong Ping quickly entered the hole and continued to cover the top of the hole with the rocks above. Then he gritted his teeth, crouched on the ground, and started digging. A peak rank for martial artist, even if there were many rocks below, quickly dug a path. Fong Ping avoided the direction of the guards and followed the energy-rich area, moving forward underground. He cursed in his heart. This trip had almost turned him into a gopher. Dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a hole. Was it easy for him just for some energy stones? While he was still digging, suddenly, a strong wave of energy swept over. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly felt like he was in an ocean of energy. Countless energy particles spread in all directions. It was too strong. The catacombs' passageways were actually made up of pure energy particles, but they were too violent and could not be felt after they had completely solidified. At this moment, these energy particles had not solidified, but were spreading continuously. The rocks in the soil were showing signs of energy transformation. It's open. Fong Ping's expression changed. So soon? Could he still make it in time? How long would it be open this time? Just as he was thinking about this, a series of squeaks came from underground. Fong Ping heard the sound and looked around. Suddenly, he saw many creatures that looked like rats scurrying around. Mine rats! These were the catacombs creatures that Qin Fengqing said were the most delicious. Fong Ping's eyes suddenly lit up. He might have been too careful. Here, a big movement might be noticed. However, mine rats had always lived near energy mines and often moved around in the mine passageways. The catacombs martial artists did not pay much attention to them because mine rats were too small and could not be considered monsters. The energy they consumed was also very little. Unless the catacombs martial artists wanted to eat something delicious, they would only hunt for mine rats. Otherwise, they would not care too much about the existence of these little things. I'm a mine rat, Fong Ping muttered. I'm a mine rat now. No, I'm even less of a presence than a mine rat, except that I'm slightly bigger. The thick tide of energy came wave after wave, the kind that was very mellow. If this was on Earth, Fong Ping would have started cultivating long ago. Right now, however, he could not care less. He followed the source of the energy and quickly dug a hole. No one would care if a mine rat dug a hole, right? A few minutes later, Fong Ping stopped. In his hand was an energy stone that looked like a cobblestone. Fong Ping's eyes were bright. A high-purity energy ore. He had reached the core area. Without saying a word, Fong Ping immediately stored the energy stone in his storage space. Then he continued digging forward. At this moment, there were more and more crystalline roots around him. Fong Ping did not pay much attention to them. These roots were just to scare people. Fong Ping saw some mine rats lying on the roots, breathing in and out energy, but he did not see anything wrong with the roots. If he had known that these roots were just to scare people, he would not have been so careful. Ignoring the rats and the roots, Fong Ping continued digging forward. Not long after he left, the roots seemed to be a little slow to react. They only reacted now. With a light shake, the mine rat lying on it instantly turned into a bloody pulp. The roots that had been silent all this time shook. Then, a few thick roots swept around the hole that Fong Ping had just swum past like water snakes. Perhaps they did not find anything or sense any aura, but the roots quickly stopped moving and returned to silence. 8. That's about 500 grams, right? Fong Ping had collected 8 medium-sized high-purity energy stones along the way. Although they were not big, their purity was more than 90%, so they probably weighed about 500 grams. High-purity, cultivation-aiding energy stones were extremely valuable. In MCMEU, this thing cost 30 credits a gram. It was extremely expensive. Fong Ping looked up. Perhaps the mining area for high-rank energy stones was right above him, but he dared not stick his head out. He could still hear footsteps above him. Obviously, even though the fountain of life had opened, the guards did not let down their guard. They were much more diligent than the people outside. Fong Ping even sensed a few weak waves of mentality scanning below him. It was not the mentality of a high-rank powerhouse, but it was similar to the weak mentality emitted by the sapling at the city gate. If Fong Ping had not restrained his aura, he would have been discovered long ago. No wonder there were not many people at the bottom of the mine tunnel. Even a grandmaster would find it difficult to hide from these mentality scans. Maybe a grandmaster with a strong mentality could do it, but if they were strong enough to hide from the sapling scans, they would attract the willow tree monster's attention because they were too strong. The weak could not hide. It was very difficult to hide the aura of an expert from another expert. Forget it. I'll give up on these energy stones first. The fountain of life is right in front. Waves of extremely strong energy were still spreading outwards. Some of the low-purity energy stones in front of Fong Ping were sparkling, showing signs of being converted to high ranks. It was obvious how strong this energy was. He continued forward. The further he went, the harder it was for him to move. The thick energy somewhat restricted his movements. After climbing for a while, Fong Ping suddenly felt much more relaxed. I'm afraid I'm directly below the source of the energy wave. Fong Ping sensed something. Just as he climbed to the bottom, above him, the rank 8 powerhouse was absorbing energy while opening his eyes and looking around, frowning slightly. Around him, a few rank 7 powerhouses were closing their eyes to absorb energy to heal their injuries. Outside, those rank 5 and 6 powerhouses were also doing their best to absorb energy. After watching for a while, he did not find anything unusual. Venerable Maple closed his eyes. He had worried too much. If a powerhouse or a monster really came here, they could hide from him, but they could not hide from the tutelary. And the weak could not come here either. Just as Venerable Maple closed his eyes, in the corner of the hall, a part of the ground arched slightly. A subtle sound, under the impact of the energy tide, disappeared in an instant. A pitch-black head popped out. The next moment, the head suddenly froze. So many people. Fong Ping's heart was about to jump out. He listened carefully for a while just now. He did not hear any sound, so he wanted to pop his head out to take a look. Who knew there were so many people above? Did these people's hearts not beat at all? It was not that their hearts did not beat, but the sound of the energy tide covered this. Fong Ping could only hear the sound of waves of turbulent energy impact. What is this? Making me steal under the noses of so many powerhouses? Isn't this like going to the toilet with a lantern? Fong Ping's heart was about to jump out. He suspected that if it were not for the fact that his heart had been honed and modified, just this would have scared him to death. The person at the front was shining with golden light. This was obviously a golden body powerhouse. And less than 2 meters away from Fong Ping's head, there was another person sitting cross-legged on the ground. His butt was facing him, so close that he could smell his fart clearly. He wanted to swallow, but Fong Ping did not dare. If he was heard, he would die. It was too scary. He wanted to go home. Facing a rank 8, no, there was a rank 9 tree demon above him. This was not something a rank 4 could do. That bastard Qin Fengqing was so arrogant, but he almost wet his pants when he met the Jiao. No matter how dangerous the Jiao was, it would not be as dangerous as here, right? Chapter 373. Suppressing the throbbing in his heart, Fong Ping lifted his head slightly. At this moment, he also saw the crystal-clear energy waterfall. Waves of extremely concentrated energy were spilling out continuously. Everyone in the concourse was absorbing the overflowing energy madly. The waterfall seemed to be real. The sound of water crashing could be heard continuously. The waves were turbulent, making whistling sounds. In the concourse, there was even a light drizzle. The energy was too concentrated. It gathered into countless small raindrops and fell, turning into rice grain-sized energy stones. Fong Ping lifted his head. Many raindrops fell into his mouth, instantly turning into a strong wave of energy that began to rush into his internal organs. How much energy is there? It's too scary. MCMU's energy room is nothing. It's too trashy. It's not the same concept at all. The refreshing feeling of the overflowing energy almost made Fong Ping lose himself in the pleasure of cultivation. He could not help but close his eyes. In the next moment, Fong Ping suddenly woke up, looking for death. Will these people be like me, addicted to this pleasure? I don't have any energy waves. As long as they don't open their eyes, they won't notice my existence. But if they open their eyes, I'll be dead. It was too dangerous. Fong Ping looked at the waterfall-like energy river in front of him again. The overflowing energy now was just a drop in the ocean compared to the waterfall. Should I do it or not? Should I do it or not? Fong Ping was burning with anxiety. He could not wait any longer. Once everyone had finished cultivating or absorbed to the limit and could not absorb anymore, someone might open their eyes. Right now, it was right under the nose of a rank 8. Moreover, above the waterfall, countless huge roots were entwining around the concourse. Those were the willow tree monster's roots. The willow tree monster probably uses its aura or mentality to sense its target. But I've restrained my aura, so I don't actually exist. No clothes. Can the aura on clothes be shielded? Fong Ping was not sure. Humans might not be able to distinguish so clearly, but it was hard to say for the willow tree monster. Thinking of this, Fong Ping immediately burrowed underground. After a while, he emerged again. Other than endless soil, there were no clothes on Fong Ping's body. Now, the willow tree monster can't sense me either, right? The soil's aura is everywhere. Fong Ping did not even dare to breathe. Taking advantage of the surging energy tide, he squeezed his body upward, leaving the ground entirely. Looking at the martial artist who was emitting golden light not far away, Fong Ping shifted his gaze immediately, not daring to look at him for too long. Unfortunately, he was not strong enough. If he were a level 7 expert, he might be able to kill a level 8 expert with one strike and destroy his indestructible body. After a moment of regret, Fong Ping stopped thinking about it. As long as he was strong enough, even if he could not kill his opponent this time, he could still do it next time. Since he was already here, he might as well take the risk. As long as they did not open their eyes, they would not be able to see him. If he opened his eyes, thinking of this, Fong Ping retreated underground once more. No, he had to dig a hole under the waterfall. Once someone opened their eyes, he would escape into the hole immediately. However, the chances of him being crushed to death were not small. Even if a rank 8 powerhouse could not find him, he could still crush him to death if he released his mentality pressure. However, Fong Ping was betting that the other party would not unleash his aura recklessly. At this moment, there were many rank 5 and 6 martial artists in the hall, and Fong Ping's mentality was stronger than theirs. If he was crushed to death, none of these people would be able to live. It would depend on whether the rank 8 would let these people be buried with him. These people were the elites of gigantic Willow City. Even a rank 8 might not dare to kill them wantonly. Thinking of this, Fong Ping did not delay drilling underground and continued to dig a hole. This time, he did not penetrate. When he reached the surface, Fong Ping stopped and continued to drill back. I'll take a gamble. The bold ones will be stuffed to death, and the timid ones will starve to death. As long as it's not an instant kill, I have the confidence to escape. But do I really want to take a gamble? Why don't I wait for everyone to leave, then try again? Fong Ping looked up at the energy waterfall again. Looking carefully, Fong Ping frowned slightly. Outside the energy waterfall, a layer of ripples kept shaking. Fong Ping was not an ordinary rank 4. His mentality was also very strong. At this moment, he had a judgment in his heart. A solidified barrier created by mentality. It's similar to Old Man Chen's confinement of Qin Fengqing. However, that was temporary, and it could only confine weaklings like Qin Fengqing. Such a huge amount of energy was not something that Old Man Chen could confine. At least a rank 9 would have a chance. Moreover, if he wanted to confine it for a long time, he would probably need to spend a lot of energy. Is Willow Tree Monster stabilizing the barrier? Or is gigantic Willow City's king stabilizing it? No, maybe Willow King is not in the cities. Fong Ping did not know whether his judgment was right or wrong. He could only make such a judgment because there would definitely be gigantic Willow City powerhouses guarding the passageway. Gigantic Willow City currently only had 2 rank 8s. One here and one rank 8 could not guard the passageway. What Fong Ping did not know was that the rank 8 had already gone to keep an eye on Cretaceous City. Willow King was personally guarding the passageway. If only Willow Tree Monster is here in order to stabilize the barrier, I'm afraid it won't make a move. If the barrier is broken because of a nobody like me, then this energy will overflow and disperse. With so much energy, it won't be difficult to create a few high ranks, right? At this moment, Fong Ping's heart was constantly fluctuating. It was too dangerous. It was so dangerous that he really did not want to do it, but he was somewhat unwilling. Moreover, if he did not do it, how long could Old Manly last? His mentality was destroyed, and his golden body was broken. The reason why he was still alive now was because Old Man Li's mentality was too weak and could not be released, so it was not obliterated. The remaining mentality, combined with the broken golden body, had kept him alive until now. Returning to the human world might have a way to save him. But when could he go back? If he lingered for too long, Old Man Li might really die. If he really died like this, then he might as well have died before. At least he would have died with a bang. If he died like this now, that would be too useless. With these energy essences, I can help him reconstruct his half-golden body, right? Once the golden body is restored, he won't die. Old man, do you know that you've made a fortune? That day, you used a little discount in exchange for my life. If I knew this would happen, you might as well not hang on to your last breath. If you die, I'll avenge you. Right now, you're neither alive nor dead. Am I supposed to just watch you die like this? If Li Chongqing really died, Fong Ping would just avenge him at most. But if he did not die, was he supposed to just watch him die in such a useless way? His thoughts fluctuated violently again. He would take the risk. Fong Ping's gaze regained its calmness. He did not look at the few people in front of him anymore. Instead, he turned his head sideways and swept a glance at the rank 5 and 6 martial artists. Very good. They were all cultivating with their eyes closed. That was true. Fong Ping had never seen anyone cultivating with their eyes open. Those people in front of him, if he took a peek later, none of them would open their eyes, right? Instead of walking on the ground, Fong Ping used the flight step and flew up. Although he used the flight step, there were no vitality or energy fluctuations around Fong Ping. This was the freakishness of the energy shield. Without looking with the naked eye, no one would notice that there was an extra person in the sky. Fong Ping felt that he could make a cameo appearance as an assassin in the future. The energy waterfall was still gushing out energy continuously. Fong Ping could already feel the existence of the small door. I can't rely on this to gush out. It's not enough. I have to enter, open up the storage space, and fill it up. But once I intercept it, I'll be discovered very soon. Fong Ping had already realized where the trouble lay. This was not sneaky. As long as he intercepted the energy, these people would come back to their senses very soon. Fong Ping glanced at the distance between the energy waterfall and the rank 8 martial artist at the front. Once the energy supply was cut off, the other party would sense that something was wrong in a second at most. Opening his eyes, outburst, at most 2 seconds. How far underground could he escape in 2 seconds? Escaping underground is much slower. I need time to land on the ground. I can escape up to 50 meters at most. If he unleashes his full outburst and scrupulous, I'm dead meat. 50 meters was still within the range of a rank 8's pressure. At this moment, the only thing he could bet on was that the other party would not massacre all powerhouses below the high ranks. If he hesitated for a moment, Fong Ping could escape 100 meters away, out of his coverage range. Even if he unleashed an outburst, he would not be able to kill himself. I'll bet. With that thought in mind, Fong Ping moved. He dashed into the invisible passageway in a flash, opened up the storage space, and began to absorb rapidly. Countless energy tides pressed down on Fong Ping until he was almost flushed out. The commotion was slightly too big. At this moment, the energy supply had not been cut off yet. The rank 8 powerhouse's eyelids trembled slightly, showing signs of opening his eyes. Fong Ping roared in his heart, absorb quickly. 1 cubic meter was not big, but the energy flow was not fast either. Fong Ping had no choice but to take a step deeper, pressing his palm on the energy waterfall. With this press, the passageway suddenly trembled. The energy supply had not been cut off yet, but the willow tree monster sensed that something was wrong. Someone was stealing life essence. At this moment, the storage space was not full yet, but Fong Ping had already realized that a disaster was imminent. How would he dare to continue taking more? Without thinking, Fong Ping dashed straight to the ground, not caring about the commotion he caused, dashing into the underground entrance in the blink of an eye. He had just landed on the ground when the rank 8 powerhouse opened his eyes. Then, a sharp glint flashed in his eyes, mentality enveloping the area instantly. Fong Ping only felt that his internal organs were about to explode. His mentality was also about to explode. Enduring the pain, he drilled into the ground instantly. The moment he drilled into the ground, the rank 8 golden body powerhouse's expression changed. Without thinking, he slammed his palm on the ground. The concourse shook violently. At this moment, everyone was wide awake. Because of the turbulence, some people who were in the midst of breaking through to the next realm spat out blood instantly. Energy exploded, and a few people exploded in an instant. Venerable Maple. A few rank 7 chieftains also had blood spilling out of their mouths. They opened their eyes slightly later, and were in the midst of healing, so they did not see Fong Ping's figure. Seeing Venerable Maple's rage, they could not help but look shocked. Venerable Maple did not pay attention to them. His brows furrowed slightly, and he slammed his palm on the ground again. In the concourse, a few people exploded again. Just as Venerable Maple was about to sweep with his mentality, he saw this scene and frowned instantly. If this went on, anyone below rank 7 would be killed by him. Lifting his head to take a look at the fountain of life, Willow Deity was already sealing the passageway. A hint of anger flashed in Venerable Maple's eyes. He was afraid that he had angered Willow Deity this time. At this moment, Willow Deity was sealing the passageway, probably not in the mood to care about anything else. Someone has stolen the fountain of life and escaped underground. Everyone, arrest this person immediately. Venerable Maple let out a low roar, his voice reverberating throughout the underground. Without waiting for the others to react, Venerable Maple smashed the ground with his palm. Large amounts of rocks and soil splashed up. This time, there was no mentality mixed in. The others had also withdrawn from their cultivation, so they were not too affected. After checking for a while, a piece of soil stained with red blood flew into his hand. After sensing it slightly, Venerable Maple's expression changed greatly. He shouted, "Land of Rebirth martial artists, seal all passageways. Seal Royal City. Xiaomu Lu Feng, seal the city at once. Lu Yi, Mu Qing, seal the underground. The rest of you, dig underground and look for the underground passageway." At the same time that he gave the order, this rank 8 powerhouses mentality spread out and began to check the underground passageway. Very soon, the passageway route that Fong Ping escaped was clearly detected by him. Venerable Maple chased after him at lightning speed. In the end, halfway through, the winding passageway branched into a few more forks. Venerable Maple's mentality spread out, but he discovered 2 passageways. One was the passageway that Fong Ping came from. The other was the passageway that was reopened when he escaped. Just as Venerable Maple was about to continue probing and searching, a powerful mentality surged over. "Help me seal off the fountain of life." At this moment, in the concourse far away, the energy waterfall was still surging continuously. Although a portion of the opening that was opened earlier was sealed, there was still a portion that was overflowing with energy. Forcefully sealing off the mentality barrier all of a sudden had caused the solidified barrier to become unstable. Venerable Maple's expression changed again. He shouted, "Investigate to the south. The thief is escaping to the south." Having said that, Venerable Maple flew back quickly. The fountain of life was the most important matter. The thief had stolen a portion of the life essence, but it was only a drop in the bucket. Once the barrier was broken, all the life essence would overflow. When the king returned, he could kill him. Underground, Fong Ping forcefully swallowed the blood and internal organ fragments. His entire body scurried forward at lightning speed, opening up a new passageway. Ignoring the angry shouts and roars behind him, Fong Ping concealed his entire aura. However, even if he was escaping now, he could not cover up the underground passageway. Behind him, although the rank 8 powerhouses did not give chase anymore, there were still rank 7 powerhouses who began to emit mentality and chase after him rapidly along the passageway. Old Man Li is still at the inn, although I've covered up a portion of the passageway that I came from. If they really investigate carefully, they'll find out where the inn is sooner or later. Once they find out, Old Man Li will die without a doubt. I still have to go back. I'll bring him along and escape together. Fong Ping endured the pain of his internal organs shattering and surged forward at lightning speed. The mentality behind him was already getting closer and closer. This kind of trail is too obvious. The next moment, Fong Ping suddenly burrowed upward, burrowing through the passageway instantly and entering the mine cave. After entering the mine cave, he concealed his aura. There were no new traces. The other party would need to spend some effort to find him. As soon as he burrowed out, Fong Ping heard the guards' roars and the sound of sabers and swords slicing through the air. Fong Ping did not waste any time. The chaos-vanquishing saber appeared in an instant. Blood mixed with internal organ fragments spurted out from his mouth instantly. His mentality surged, and the Chongdao disappeared in a flash. The 2 people in front of him were first pierced by blood arrows in their throats. Then their heads were cut off by the Chongdao. Without giving the 2 of them a second look, Fong Ping stepped on the air and flew hundreds of meters forward. With a punch, he blasted open the top of the passageway, burrowed in, and continued to open up new passageways. After doing this several times, Fong Ping himself felt a little dizzy and disoriented. MIF King heading in the direction of the inn? Fong Ping was a little unconfident. However, at this moment, he could not care less. Behind him, a few strong auras were hot on his tail. Even if he kept opening up new passageways, he could not shake them off completely. Fong Ping felt a little regretful that he brought Old Man Li along this time. Otherwise, he might not be able to escape alone. If he really wanted to hide, he could hide his aura and find a random hole to burrow into. The other party might not be able to find him quickly. However, he was a little careless before coming here, leaving behind the passageway he came here. It was not that Fong Ping was careless. At that time, he was afraid of alarming willow tree monster, so he did not dare to open up passageways recklessly. Fong Ping did not think too much about it. He opened up underground passageways one after another. Very soon, Fong Ping suddenly thought of something. He gritted his teeth and burrowed out. Boom! In the next moment, Fong Ping smashed the ground and burrowed out from underground instantly. At this moment, he happened to be on the main street. As soon as he burrowed out, the two chieftain-level powerhouses who came out earlier came walking on the air. The sound of them piercing through the air was especially sharp. Fong Ping had long expected this scene. He did not raise his head, burrowing into a shop next to him instantly. Without even looking, his Chong Dao slashed out instantly, beheading a few people in the shop. Then, he smashed the ground with a punch again and burrowed in. As soon as he burrowed into the ground, the shop broke into pieces instantly. The two chieftain-level powerhouses did not care at all, smashing the shop into pieces with one palm. When they sensed that his aura had disappeared once again, the two chieftain-level powerhouses flew into a rage. At this moment, at the place where Fong Ping had burrowed out earlier, a chieftain-level powerhouse flew out too. Seeing the smashed shop, his brows furrowed slightly. Citywide martial law. Thieves have broken in. All generals, listen to the transfer order and arrest the thieves. Close the city gates. One of the chieftain-level powerhouses roared. Then, he smashed the ground with another punch. Seeing the hole in the ground, he let out a cold humph, his mentality continuing to search along the hole. The thief's ability was not strong. It was hard to determine his specific realm for now, but he was definitely not above the chieftain level. In Royal City, this bastard could not escape. In the next moment, a rank 7 powerhouse punched out, smashing a shop in the distance into pieces. The people in the shop were killed instantly. As for Fong Ping's aura, it disappeared in a flash, continuing to disappear without a trace. Bastard! A chieftain-level powerhouse roared angrily. They had already understood the thief's intention. If this went on, even if they could kill Fong Ping, it would cause a huge loss. Fong Ping, who had no aura, was very difficult to track down. They could only pursue him through the underground passageway. Naturally, their speed had slowed down. Moreover, this fellow did not keep digging holes. He darted everywhere. Once he leaped out of the ground, if no one attacked, they would lose track of him very quickly. They could only choose to attack and kill Fong Ping. Seeing that many shops had been destroyed, a chieftain-level powerhouse shouted, "Everyone, get into the houses. Don't go out. Don't make any noise." There were many people on the streets now. If the other party had blended in, it would be very difficult to find him. However, as long as there was no one on the streets, there were not many places that Fong Ping could run to. No one dared to retort when a powerhouse was angry. A large number of people began to enter the houses or the shops next to them. Many people were trembling with fear. At this moment, a chieftain-level powerhouse suddenly attacked. Without saying a word, he smashed a house next to the street into pieces. Fong Ping was only hit by the aftermath. At this moment, he felt his internal organs shattering. A mouthful of blood mixed with fragments of his internal organs sprayed out. "I can't escape from this?" Fong Ping's head was a little dizzy. Underground, a powerhouse was chasing after him along the passageway. On the ground, the whole city was silent now. As soon as he popped his head, even if he did not reveal his aura, there would still be some sounds coming from underground. A high-ranked powerhouse's hearing was too strong. They could sense the slightest sound immediately. The other party did not care about death. Sensing it, he attacked with one move. Fong Ping was almost smacked to death just now. The powerhouse's aura behind him was getting clearer and clearer. At this moment, Fong Ping did not dare to show his head. Am I really going to die from my wanton actions? I've underestimated these fellows. If this was Sino Nation, he might really run away. At least Sino Nation's grandmasters would not simply smash a house into pieces with one palm. A gentleman could be deceived. Encountering these fellows in the catacombs who did not treat the lower class as humans, there was really nothing he could do. What should I do? Fong Ping suddenly thought of something. He continued to dig holes. This time he was digging backwards. When there are more underground passageways and it's messy, let's see how those fellows can find me when they can't sense my aura. Once the passageway overlapped with the previous one, there would be many possible escape routes. Fong Ping would then have time to catch his breath. Moreover, he could also cover up the passageway he came from, delaying Old Man Li's discovery. It's not that easy to kill me. Right now, Fong Ping's biggest regret was that he did not have an iron head. Otherwise, he could dig holes even faster. He could directly dig holes under the royal city. Let's see how these fellows would find him. With the energy shield, these fellows could not find him. They could not even kill him in a second. If you're so capable, cover the whole city with your mentality and crush everyone in the city to death. It'll be worth it even if I die with them. If these rank 7 and 8 powerhouses plus the willow tree monster really wanted to cover the whole city inch by inch with their mentality, Fong Ping would almost have no way out. However, he would not have a way out. The whole city would have to die with him. Would these people dare to? I'm still not strong enough. Otherwise, I'll go out and provoke them now. That'll be great. Fong Ping found joy in his misery. He dug holes madly. Very soon, he opened up a passageway that was connected to the previous escape route. In the next moment, Fong Ping disappeared on the spot. Underground, a chieftain caught up with him instantly, his eyes revealing a hint of resentment. Where did that fellow run off to? On the left was the path he dug out from underground earlier. On the right was the path he had just escaped to the surface. The place he was at was the path Fong Ping had just fought his way back. If he could sense his aura, he would not even have to think about it. But now it was really difficult to chase. After this, the underground of the royal city must be changed to life crystals. The chieftain humphed. Next time, when everything was changed to life crystals, even if they were crystals that had depleted all their energy, it would not be so easy to dig through. Unfortunately, for so many years, the royal city had not really considered enemies escaping underground. Moreover, for high ranks, even if they were underground, there was not much difference between them and the surface. Auras could not be concealed. When you dug holes, there would always be energy fluctuations. However, at this moment, Fong Ping showed them that the underground was not hard enough. That was also a big flaw in defense. You can't escape. Intense mentality fluctuations, mixed with an angry roar, echoed continuously in the underground pit. Amidst his anger, the chieftain was also slightly puzzled. Even if the other party did not have any aura, where did the fountain of life go? After all, that was the life essence that carried a huge amount of energy. Why was there no movement? The land of rebirth. At this moment, a few chieftains who were chasing after him felt a ripple in their hearts. Were all the powerhouses from the land of rebirth so difficult to deal with? Chapter 374. Bang! A loud sound rang out, and a part of the underground tunnel collapsed. Fong Ping hid in a small hole, not moving an inch, like a lifeless rock. Buzz! Some of the stones on the ground suddenly shattered. This was a high-ranked powerhouse, using his mentality to probe inch by inch, crushing all suspicious targets. Fong Ping had still underestimated the strength of high-ranked powerhouses. These powerhouses' control of mentality had already reached the point of perfection. After having a direction under deliberate control, they would only attack underground. It was not to the point where the entire city would die with Fong Ping. The reason he managed to escape the rank 8's mentality pressure earlier was because Fong Ping had disappeared abruptly and lost his direction. The other party was afraid of accidentally injuring others, which was why Fong Ping had the chance. Now, the few rank 7 powerhouses were not afraid of accidentally injuring anyone. Right now, The only one wandering underground was Fong Ping. Everyone else, including the middle and low-ranked guards, had already evacuated. In a situation where they could not find Fong Ping's exact whereabouts, these powerhouses adopted a sweeping search. Even if it was extremely exhausting, they did not hesitate. In King City, someone had broken in and stolen the Spring of Life. If they couldn't kill the thief in the end, the king and Willow deity wouldn't let them off easily. Fong Ping did not move an inch. A rank 7 powerhouse's coverage area was limited. The royal city was huge. The aftermath waves emitted by these mentality could not do anything to him, unless he happened to be in the center of the coverage area. At this moment, Fong Ping was not worried about these rank 7 powerhouses. Instead, it was the countless crystalline roots at his side. These roots seemed to have lost their lives and were purely decorations. However, Fong Ping could already feel that these roots were reviving. On the other side of the hall, perhaps the psychic energy solidification barrier was about to be repaired. Fong Ping did not know how powerful a rank 9 was, or how powerful these roots were, but he knew that a rank 9 was definitely stronger than he had imagined. Especially this kind of tree demon that he didn't understand at all. Who knew if these roots could track his whereabouts after the willow tree monster was revived? Even if he couldn't, he wouldn't be able to escape anymore. Even if the willow tree monster couldn't detect his breath, it would still cause vibrations when he dug a hole. These roots were equivalent to the hair of the willow tree demon. If one were to move around the hair, the vibration would definitely be sensed. When that time came, even if there was no aura, they could still quickly discover Fong Ping. There's not much time left. I need to escape from the underground before the tree demon fully awakens. Fong Ping was well aware of this. Otherwise, if the tree demon were to awaken, he would have nowhere to run. Continue to run deeper underground. It's still too shallow now. The key was that the deeper the hole, the greater the pressure. Even if Fong Ping really went deep underground, it was not impossible for him to be crushed to death. Furthermore, it was extremely difficult to move around in the depths. If one was blocked, it would be very difficult to escape. However, at this time, Fong Ping could not care less. If he continued to move around on the surface, once the tree demon awakened, he would be dead for sure. When the mentality probing nearby disappeared, Fong Ping did not hesitate. He picked up the chaos-vanquishing saber and dug deep into the ground. He had only been digging for a while when some of the rocks above him instantly shattered, and waves of spiritual pressure instantly descended. Fong Ping did not care. He used all his strength and dug deeper. They dug through the veins, dug out the rocks, dug out the water source. After digging a few dozen meters deep, Fong Ping was surprised to find a passageway underground. A ready-made passageway. This is a drainage pipe? Fong Ping was extremely surprised. Deep beneath King City, there was actually a developed city drainage system. It was not on the surface, but deep underground. Perhaps they were worried that the surface was too shallow, making it easy for people to sneak in and steal the energy stones. Or perhaps willow tree monsters' roots were on the surface. So King City set up the drainage system deep underground. Anyway, to the catacombs powerhouses, opening a passageway deep underground was not too difficult. Previously, Fong Ping had been moving around on the surface. He had thought that the catacomb city did not have a drainage system at all. Now, Fong Ping was really surprised. That's true. A city with millions of people, the environment is not bad. How could it not have this? Although Fong Ping was surprised, he was instantly pleasantly surprised. There was always a way out. Deep underground was a drainage passageway that extended in all directions. How could those fellows find him now? Even God doesn't want me to die. Fong Ping was wild with joy. He did not care about the unbearable stench inside the passageway. In an instant, he found a fork and rushed in. Run first, think later. Not long after he left, a few chief-level powerhouses rushed down from the passageway that had just been opened above. They entered the passageway, frowning slightly. High-rank powerhouses had a strong sense of smell. The pungent smell made them a little uncomfortable. However, they did not care about this. One of them said in a low voice, "He entered the underground passageway. Now, it was really a little troublesome. These passageways led to various places in the royal city. There were even some outside the city. When the city was built back then, because willow deity's roots covered the city's underground surface, almost no one had considered that someone would attack the city from underground. Even if there was, it would be when willow deity died. If willow deity was dead, the city might not be able to defend itself. But now willow deity was still alive. The enemy did not attack the city from the underground passageway. Instead, he penetrated the ground from inside the city and escaped into the passageway. Now, it was difficult. The few of them looked at each other, feeling a little helpless. If they were to fight head-on, they could kill that cunning little thief with a slap. But now, the other party did not show up at all. He was even more cunning than a mine rat. No matter how powerful they were, if they could not find the person, it was useless. One of the chief level had a fiery temper. With a slap, he smashed the passageway on one side into pieces. He said angrily, "Then destroy all the passageways. Start attacking the passageways from the outside. Bury that thief underground." After burying Fong Ping, they would search inch by inch. If they had the ability, they could continue digging. If they dug any deeper, the squeezing pressure underground would squeeze the other party until he exploded. Even for high-ranked powerhouses, it was not that easy to dig all the way underground. The huge pressure would increase the deeper they went. In the end, it could even squeeze the high-ranked powerhouses until they exploded. As soon as he said that, the others did not say anything. It was easy to say. If these passageways were really destroyed and collapsed, a lot of the royal city would be destroyed too. The royal city did not belong to them. It belonged to Willow King and Willow Deity. To destroy the royal city for the sake of catching a thief, the mistakes outweighed the merits. Continue searching. No one followed up. Among the others, one of them said to continue searching, which also meant that they had rejected the first person's opinion. The person with the fiery temper was just saying it. If they really destroyed the royal city, when the king returned, even if he did not kill him, he would not have an easy time. The few chief levels did not utter a word. They each followed the different passageway directions and continued searching. Their hearts were filled with frustration. It was even more frustrating than fighting head-on with the land of rebirth powerhouses yesterday. Although it was dangerous yesterday and the outcome was cruel, for powerhouses, fighting head-on, killing others or being killed, was acceptable. Now a mine rat-like martial artist who was much weaker than them was causing them to run around in circles. This was their humiliation. If they had the guts, come out and fight. The few powerhouses could not wait to roar. Even if they were killed when they came out, they would still feel better than now. It was too frustrating. In the passageway, Fong Ping shook his head. Right now, his injuries were not light, or rather, extremely serious. The most serious injury was still in the underground hall earlier. Although the rank 8 did not hit him with full force, that mentality impact and the subsequent slap on the ground had shaken Fong Ping's mentality to the point of dispersing. His vital organs were severely damaged, and he almost exploded. Later, when a few rank 7s chased after him, his injuries had worsened. I almost tortured myself to death. Fong Ping swallowed a resurrection pill. After saving Old Man Li, he had more than 10 resurrection pills left. He had purposely kept them to save his life. After swallowing one, his injuries did not seem to improve at all. Fong Ping felt a little helpless. His injuries were too serious, even more serious than when he fought with Wang Jinyang last time. In desperation, he swallowed the remaining 2 pills. Only then did he feel that his internal organs were no longer exploding. If I knew this would happen, I would have taken the pills from Qin Yunxi. Fong Ping was regretting it now. It was just a few pills. He should have just accepted them. Now he was so seriously injured. He had even used up the healing pills. If he was injured again, he would really be at the mercy of others. But I still have energy essence. Fong Ping was overjoyed. Although he did not fill up his storage space earlier, it was now more than half full. This was energy essence. Its effect was stronger than high-purity energy stones. Healing was a piece of cake. But I can't use it now. The energy is too strong. It'll be easily sensed. Fong Ping dared not use energy essence to heal now. After recovering slightly, Fong Ping had a headache again. What about Old Man Li? Right now, if he really wanted to leave, he could rush forward along the passageway. He would eventually walk out of Royal City's boundary. But if he left, Old Man Li would probably die. Royal City was now sealed. They were still trying to capture him. They probably did not have time to care about others. But if they could not find him, they would find Old Man Li sooner or later. If I knew this would happen, I would have left him outside the city. Being eaten by monsters is better than staying in the city. I still have to go back. Fong Ping looked above his head. Where was the inn? If he could dig a tunnel straight to the inn, that would be fine. If he could escape to the underground drainage pipe in time, he might be able to escape. But now he was dizzy from running. Who would remember where the inn was? The inn is in the south. The energy concentration in the south is lower. Forget it. It's hard to judge from underground now. Also, the difference isn't big. The inn belongs to the outer city. There are more ordinary people in the outer city. More polluted water is produced. Maybe I can judge from this. Fong Ping walked along the drainage pipe and began to observe carefully. Fortunately, the inner city of Royal City was not like the central city. The inner city was not in the center of the city. Otherwise, it would be hard to find. The inner city of Royal City was considered the North City. The other directions were the outer city. There was no reason for the underground drainage pipe to drain into the city. It must be flowing outward. Following the direction of the drainage, he should be able to distinguish the inner and outer city. 10 minutes later, Fong Ping carefully poked his head out from the ground. If there was an underground drainage pipe, there would naturally be an outlet. This saved him the trouble of digging a tunnel himself. At this moment, the city no longer prohibited residents from going out. In a city with millions of people, if people were not allowed to go out, it would interfere with the operation of the entire royal city. After Fong Ping entered the underground tunnel, the chieftains felt that the probability of capturing him was not high. Although there were still high ranks patrolling in the sky, they were not as strict as before. In the city, a large number of martial artists were investigating and searching. The probability of them pretending was higher. At this moment, the people of Royal City had not considered that Fong Ping would bring someone in. Under normal circumstances, if there were accomplices to do such a big thing, they would have created chaos when Fong Ping was arrested. When he was arrested earlier, there was no big chaos. The possibility of accomplices was not high. Fong Ping turned his head gently. Right now, there were many people in the city. The sound of footsteps was chaotic. A little noise like this would not be noticed. He looked around. It seemed like he had been here before when he entered the city, but he was not familiar with it. However, Fong Ping was familiar with it very soon. A shop that exchanged energy stones. Before entering the city, Fong Ping had the deepest impression of these few shops. It's here. The inn is about 1,500 meters northeast. Fong Ping had an idea in his mind immediately. With a landmark building, it would be much easier to find the place. With an idea, Fong Ping continued to dive. Very soon, he returned to the underground tunnel and walked along the pipe in the northeast direction. Not long after Fong Ping left, countless crystal-clear roots began to wander along the tunnel he went up earlier. In the city, the giant willow tree's treetop moved slightly. At this moment, the fountain of life was already sealed. The treetop moved slightly. In the blink of an eye, the chieftains, including the rank 8 powerhouse, seemed to have received a message. They appeared at the place where Fong Ping's head emerged earlier. He came up. Venerable Maple checked. There were traces of someone passing through the underground drainage. Venerable Maple's expression was cold and stern. Very quickly, he asked, why didn't he escape? In the depths of the underground, the chieftains had already given up on capturing him. Why did he not escape? Following the drainage pipe, he ran all the way out of the city. The world was vast. A guy without any aura was almost impossible to be discovered. As he spoke, Venerable Maple did not care about the dirty and messy passageway. He quickly passed through the passageway. The others followed one after another. Entering the underground, Venerable Maple looked around and frowned. He didn't leave. This means that there's still something he wants in the city. Send out the gigantic willow divine guards immediately and investigate. Lord Tutelary has already awakened. However, he's in the outer city. Lord Tutelary's power can't extend here. He might not be able to kill him. Pay attention to his movements. Once he's discovered, kill him without mercy. Although the willow tree monster was powerful, its trunk was at least 10 li away from here. Although its roots had spread here, it was too far away from the trunk. The roots might still have some power. It could kill some weaklings, but it might not be able to kill powerhouses. Although the thief did not have the strength of a chieftain, judging from his digging speed, he was not too weak either. Venerable Maple felt that the possibility of him being killed was not high. The chieftains received the order and spread out, listening carefully for any movements. It's here. It should be about time. Fong Ping raised his head and looked. Above him was almost the location of the inn. As for whether it was the location of the small courtyard he stayed in, it was too precise. He could not estimate it. Let's go up first. There was a drainage outlet here. The probability of entering the inn directly was not high. Maybe it was outside the inn. However, Fong Ping did not care anymore. It was better than digging himself. Moreover, Fong Ping was not stupid. It had been so long. The willow tree monster might have already been free. Digging a hole was so loud. What if it sensed it? Fong Ping climbed up quickly along the drainage pipe. After climbing for a while, Fong Ping seemed to feel something. His expression changed instantly. There seemed to be something wriggling around the drainage pipe. Fong Ping stopped climbing immediately. Instead, he consumed his vitality and floated in the air. Is it a tree root? Why is it so sensitive? The sound of his crawling was not loud. The reason why he did not rise was because the drainage pipe was too narrow. It was more difficult to rise in the air. It was easier to climb. Some sweat seeped out of Fong Ping's forehead. He did not care anymore. He would go up first. Thinking of this, Fong Ping floated up with difficulty. He was only a rank 4. Without leverage, it was still difficult to rise in the air. Soon, Fong Ping floated up to the drainage outlet above. At this moment, the aura of many martial artists appeared above. There were more orderly footsteps. Have I been discovered? They're on lockdown again. Fong Ping felt helpless. What should he do now? As long as he entered the inn, he would definitely be discovered. Although Old Man Li's injuries were extremely serious, he still had a weak vitality. It was not obvious in the city, but once he went underground, he would be extremely conspicuous. If he brought Old Man Li along, it would be much more dangerous. The energy shield could not cover Old Man Li. I wonder if I can stuff him into the storage space? I don't think so. Fong Ping had tried before. He stuffed a living creature in, but it did not work. Killing was not a problem, though. If he wanted to stuff Old Man Li in, he would have to kill him first. However, if he did not bring him away now, with the current situation, he might be discovered very soon. Facing a few rank 7 and 8, maybe even a rank 9, I've really gone overboard this time. A ruthless glint flashed in Fong Ping's eyes. He could not care so much anymore. In the next moment, Fong Ping opened the drainage outlet and appeared on the street in an instant. The inn was right opposite him. His sudden appearance was still somewhat conspicuous. However, Fong Ping dared not open the passageway again. It would be too easy to be discovered. A clay figurine appearing on the streets all of a sudden was still extremely eye-catching. Just as Fong Ping appeared, someone shouted loudly. Very quickly, some armored warriors beside him rushed over. In the sky, a powerful aura was also flying over rapidly. Fong Ping did not delay. He leaped up and entered the inn by midair step. At a glance, he saw the small courtyard he was staying in. He rushed into the small courtyard. At the corner of the wall, the meat lump was still there. Fong Ping grabbed the meat lump. Outside, the rank 7 aura was already approaching. Fong Ping could not care less about going back the way he came. He grabbed the meat lump directly and drilled into the passageway under the bed. This time, the tree roots, which had not moved at all before, shot towards him at high speed as soon as he got down from the tree. Fong Ping had expected this. He punched out with a punch. Without looking, he continued to sneak down. The tree root was repelled. In the next moment, countless root hairs continued to shoot toward him. Fong Ping blocked a few of them, but the others were like divine weapons, piercing countless bloody holes in Fong Ping's back in an instant. Even his bones were penetrated. His own bones were now like tofu cubes. The attack power of the roots was not too strong. However, their sharpness was beyond imagination. Large amounts of blood spurted out. Fong Ping's face turned pale instantly. "Old Manly, we're done for this time. I can only take a gamble. Can you do it or not?" Having said that, a large amount of energy essence appeared out of thin air, enveloping the meat lump directly. Even if you're stuffed to death, it's still better than both of us being skewered into meat skewers. Recover some of your strength, and at least kill a few of them. Fong Ping growled. He did not care how many holes appeared on his body. At least he would not die now. He would think about it after entering the underground drainage. Chapter 375. The meatball was absorbing the energy essence madly. Fong Ping could feel Old Man Li's madness. Some parts of the meatball were exploding. So be it. It's better than dying a useless death. Fong Ping growled. Normally, he would have cursed Old Man Li for being so crazy and wasteful. However, at this moment, death was imminent. He did not care about this. Beside him, the roots were going crazy. The willow tree monster seemed to feel that the thief was consuming its accumulated life essence. Countless roots penetrated the soil, attacking Fong Ping madly. He was about 10 li away from the center of the roots. However, these roots were still very powerful. Every hit could kill a rank 4. Combined with its toughness and sharpness, a normal rank 5 powerhouse might be killed. The power of a rank 9 was obvious. If it was in the inner city, a rank 6 might be killed by these roots. If it was closer, even a high rank might not be able to escape. Even if a normal rank 9 powerhouse wanted to kill a rank 7, it would not be that fast. The willow tree monster might be stronger than a normal rank 9. Below, the roots were killing Fong Ping. Above, the rank 7 aura was approaching. Below, the rank 7 aura appeared too. Fong Ping's eyes showed a hint of despair. He was really done for. There was no road to heaven and no door to hell. I won't let you have it easy even if I die. Fong Ping drank a large amount of energy essence in one gulp. He felt like he was about to explode. The next moment, Fong Ping slashed. This slash had an even more powerful force. Boom! With a loud bang, the passageway collapsed. The crystal-like color of the roots that were slashed dimmed a little. However, Fong Ping, who had slashed with all his might, could not even cut off the outer roots. An A-class divine weapon combined with a slash that was comparable to a middle-stage rank 5's full-force attack only dimmed the roots a little. Divine weapon! Fong Ping did not feel greedy at this moment. Instead, he felt despair. This willow tree monster was too powerful. Roots like this almost covered the entire city. There were probably hundreds of thousands of them. Each one was stronger than an A-class weapon. What kind of concept was this? Could hundreds of thousands of middle-ranked martial artists kill such a powerful willow tree monster? Hold on for a while more. Just as Fong Ping was in despair, the meatball began to change. A dull sound was heard. Old Man Li's voice came. Hold on a little longer. Give me more energy essence, quick. At this moment, the ball of meat that was enveloped by the energy essence showed a slight change. It was as if it had grown arms and legs. In other words, the limbs had always been there, but without the support of the skeleton, they had fused with the body. At this moment, with sufficient energy, even though the bones had yet to regenerate, they had the support of power, and these limbs were propped up. You're still King alive. Fong Ping was overjoyed. He immediately took out more energy essence and covered the meatball. At this moment, he also began to dig his way down. Even before he reached the drainage pipe, someone had already sent a palm strike at him. Inside the pit, Fong Ping was almost deformed by the pressure from the surrounding rocks. Large amounts of blood gushed out. It'll be fine once you get used to it. With such an erratic thought popping up in his mind, Fong Ping stopped diving and opened up a new passageway to the side. Below, there were continuous attacks. From the side, there were also roots shooting over. Fong Ping did not even have to look to know that right now. He was probably like a honeycomb briquette. He was not dead because he was constantly using his wealth to replenish his vitality and mentality. Large amounts of vitality and mentality emerged continuously to form a defensive shield. Right now, if it were a normal rank 6 martial artist, they might have died. Fong Ping, whose endurance was depressing, now displayed his great tenacity. You guys can't kill me. Without being attacked head-on, it was not that easy for the aftershocks to shock him to death. High-rank powerhouses were very strong, but to shock him to death through the many meters of mud and rocks was not that easy. However, after many shocks, Fong Ping felt that he really could not take it anymore. Is it done? It's done. The meatball gradually returned to its human form. However, when Fong Ping glanced at it, his gaze changed. At this moment, the human form was still a bloody mess. Although it was much bigger than before, it was not much different from a skinned piglet. Also, the head was a little strange, flat and caved in. The crooked and shapeless head made it difficult for Fong Ping to recognize that this was Old Man Li. The skull is gone? No way. A strange thought arose in Fong Ping's mind. This was 2F * King Ugly. If Old Man Li could only return to this bird form, he might as well just die. He would really scare people to death if he went out. Stop looking. I haven't fully recovered. Give me the saber. Old Man Li roared, flustered and exasperated. What was there to look at? Even without Fong Ping telling him, he knew what he looked like right now. He was already the luckiest that he was still alive. Fong Ping hurriedly handed the saber over. Energy surged in Old Man Li's body, slashing a path with one slash. He said quickly, "You bastard, you really know how to cause trouble. A rank 8 powerhouse is almost here. Go behind me and continue to pour energy essence into me." Fong Ping immediately went behind him and continued to pour energy essence into his body. Old Man Li waved his saber continuously, slashing a deep path. Can I kill these people? Fong Ping could not help but ask. Get lost. Old Man Li's voice sounded a little anxious. He scolded in a low voice. Don't be too optimistic. My bones haven't recovered. I look like a human, but I'm still a pile of rotten meat. Let's get out of the city first. If someone chases after us, I'll slash him again. Remember, after that, I'm afraid I'll still be broken. Do you still have energy essence? Not much. Mother * Cur. Let's talk about it later. You've caused so much trouble and brought me back to life. I won't be satisfied even if I die. At this moment, Old Man Li really would not be satisfied even if he died. This kid Fong Ping was too crazy. In order to steal these energy essences, he provoked the whole city to hunt him down. A rank for martial artist did something that even a rank 9 would not dare to do. If he died now, it would really be a waste of Fong Ping's risk this time. As he spoke, a figure in front of him broke through the underground soil layer, piercing through in an instant. Old Man Li did not even think. With a roar, the chaos-vanquishing saber unleashed an extremely intense blood-red glow. With one slash, the ground shook and the path collapsed directly. In the next moment, Old Man Li pierced downward without thinking. He could not go above ground. Once he went above ground, he would definitely die. He knew the crisis better than Fong Ping. The guardian monster plant of the catacomb city was incomparably powerful. At this moment, they were underground, far away from the other party. The other party could not move easily. Mentality intimidation could penetrate tens of meters underground, and its power was limited. However, once it soared into the air, the other party could unleash a part of its strength. No matter how far the distance was under its unparalleled pressure, even Li Chongsheng would have to kneel. Entering the underground drainage, Old Man Li dashed out rapidly. In front of him, another figure flashed. Kill! Old Man Li roared furiously. Chongdao's blood-red glow pierced through hundreds of meters. The person opposite him also growled, slapping out a palm, hitting Old Man Lee until his figure trembled continuously. "Fill me with energy." "Okay." At this time, Fong Ping grabbed his shoulder, not letting himself be shaken down. He kept pouring out the energy essences in his storage space. Huge amounts of energy essences seeped into his body. Old Man Lee's body was showing signs of energization. "Kill!" Old Man Lee roared continuously. Changdao was no longer emitting blood-red saber glow. Instead, it was a saber glow formed by the convergence of countless energies. The passageway continued to collapse. Old Man Lee slashed wildly while dashing out. "Damn it!" Seeing the passageway collapsing, countless cries of alarm seemed to come from above the city. The high-ranked powerhouse blocking in front was also furious. Fighting underground, both of their strengths were extremely strong. If this went on, the underground passageway might collapse. At this moment, Willow Tree Root no longer attacked. Instead, it began to stabilize the underground passageway. If the city was destroyed, it would not be a big deal. However, there were still mineral veins underground. If the mineral veins were destroyed, it would be a big deal. "The rank 8 is here," Fong Ping growled. Behind him, the rank 8 powerhouse's aura was rushing over. "I know," Old Man Lee cursed, saying furiously, "It's a pity the longevity sword is gone." After the longevity sword killed the rank 8, it had been completely shattered. Otherwise, with the longevity sword that had been nurtured for decades in his hand, his combat strength would be even stronger than now. However, even with the longevity sword, the current him could not kill a rank 8. That slash earlier was the result of his many years of nurturing the sword. "What rank are you now?" Fong Ping asked again. "I don't know," Old Man Lee replied while scurrying in another direction. Who knew what rank he was? Right now, his entire body was filled with energy essences. His bones were all shattered. He did not conform to the characteristics of any rank. However, a large amount of energy essences filled his body. When he erupted, he was not weak either. As he spoke, Old Man Lee slashed wildly again, destroying the passageway and causing the top to collapse. Bastard! The few powerhouses who were chasing after him were furious. Was he trying to destroy the mineral vein? A powerful mentality suppression came over instantly. The mentality barrier that Fong Ping set up shattered instantly. His mind went blank. Blood gushed out of his 7 orifices. "I'm going to die." Old Man Lee did not react much. Right now, he could not even be considered a living person. His entire body was filled with energy essences. Sensing Fong Ping's condition, Old Man Lee shouted, "Detonate the energy essences." "How do I do that?" Fong Ping asked, slightly delirious. Channeling mentality is the same as detonating vitality. In the next moment, a large amount of energy essences appeared. Fong Ping endured the pain. His mentality surged again, and then he detonated the energy essences instantly. Boom! An earth-shattering explosion blasted a deep crater within a radius of a few hundred meters. "Let them out of the city. Surround and kill them." Someone bellowed furiously at the back. They could not fight underground anymore. If this went on, the mineral vein would be destroyed. As soon as he said that, a commander-level powerhouse who was about to intercept in front flashed with anger, but he made way for them. If this went on, the underground would collapse. It was a pity that Willow King was not here. Willow Deity could not leave the inner city easily. Otherwise, these two would not have run so far. Despicable! An angry roar was heard. Old Man Lee did not say a word. If they stayed in the city, they would die sooner or later. The other party was afraid of a life-and-death struggle. Old Man Lee was even afraid that the other party would not let them go. Even if they really destroyed the underground, they would still die without a doubt. Now that they were prepared to surround and kill him outside the city, at least there was a chance of survival. The other party made way for him. Old Man Lee did not hold back anymore, dashing out quickly. After running wildly for a while, the drainage pipe came to an end. Without thinking, Old Man Lee leaped into the air, penetrating the ground directly. At this moment, he was already outside the city. However, in the sky above, two rank 7 powerhouses attacked at high speed. Behind them, a rank 8 and a rank 7 were also chasing after them. At this moment, they had no more reservations. At this moment, no matter how big the commotion was, no matter how destructive it would not affect the royal city much. Energy. Fong Ping did not waste any time. Once again, he poured out a large amount of energy essences. Kills. The chaos-vanquishing saber erupted with an extremely intense energy glow. The two rank 7 powerhouses in the sky changed their expressions slightly. Although this slash would not kill them, these few people were actually injured. Now that the other party was risking his life for an attack, it would be troublesome later on. Such a thought flashed past their minds. In the next moment, something that made them speechless happened. The Changdao erupted with an extremely intense energy glow, but an even more intense glow erupted from under Old Man Li's feet. Almost at the same time, before the Changdao slashed, Old Man Li's feet pierced through the void, his body already a few hundred meters away. Continue to pour energy into me, Old Man Li growled. Fong Ping felt like his cheeks were scraped by a knife. The speed was too fast. Right now, he could not even speak. All he could do was hold on to Old Man Li tightly. As for Old Man Li running away, he was not too surprised. He definitely could not win. If he did not run, he would be waiting for death. 1 rank 8, 3 rank 7s. It was hard to say what rank Old Man Li was now, but he was definitely not as strong as a rank 7. At least, he was not a match for them in the previous clash. Now, the only thing he could do was run. Large amounts of energy essences were poured out again. Fong Ping did not know how much he had wasted, nor did he know how much he had left. He did not even have the time to investigate. The sound of sonic booms kept getting further away. Right now, Old Man Li's speed had really surpassed the speed of sound. Even for high-rank powerhouses, it was not that easy to break through the speed of sound. Usually, when Fong Ping and the others were escaping, their speed of 100 meters per second was already considered the fastest they could get. This was achieved after breaking through to peak rank 4. This kind of speed was not much slower than the average rank 5 or 6 martial artist. Naturally, a high rank could be faster. However, breaking through the speed of sound and increasing their speed by a few times was not just a matter of increasing their ability by a few times. At such a fast speed, Fong Ping only felt that his blood was about to run out, gushing out wildly through the countless punctured wounds on his body. In desperation, Fong Ping did not care anymore. He began to pour energy essences into himself. It was better to die from overeating than to bleed to death. Behind him, a few strong auras were hot on his heels. Old Man Li's liver was also bursting. Perhaps he did not even have a liver to burst. His speed was extremely fast. His flesh had also started to show signs of cracking. Continue pouring it into me. Old Man Li's voice sounded a little weak. Fong Ping had no choice but to continue pouring energy essences. He took the opportunity to use his mentality to scan the storage space. His face was extremely purple, almost out. Moreover, he had been chased all this while. He did not even calculate his wealth. Motherf asterisk Kerr. Did the consumed amount count as wealth? He did not have this experience. If it did not count, he would really suffer a huge loss this time. Continue pouring. Almost out. Fong Ping's voice sounded like he was about to cry. The old man only knew how to say pour. How much did you pour me? Risking the risk of being chased by a rank 9 and a bunch of rank 7 and 8. Motherf asterisk Kerr, I'm almost finished by you. You're still half dead. How can you reason with me? Old Man Li's voice faltered. Then he roared, pour one more time. Otherwise, it'll all be gone if I die. Fong Ping did not delay. He poured out more than half of the remaining energy essences. Old Man Li's bloodied feet once again erupted with extremely intense energy fluctuations. It was as if he was piercing through the void. In the blink of an eye, he had run thousands of meters away. The pursuers behind him were gradually pulling away. One more time. There's really no more. Old Man Li did not utter a word. He erupted again. The flesh on his body began to shrink, showing signs of returning to a meatball. Fong Ping was helpless. He could only pour a little more. After a few eruptions, the few people behind him were left far behind. A forest appeared in front of him. Old Man Li landed on the ground. He did not stop. He scurried quickly, escaping out of the forest as fast as he could. Then, he drilled into a small valley. He did not stop at the small valley. When he reached the back of the small valley, Old Man Li saw a small river. Without a second word, he jumped into the river and fled hundreds of meters along the river. Then, he began to dig a hole at the bottom of the river. Fong Ping felt that this familiar operation was extraordinarily familiar. After digging a hole in the mud, Old Man Li quickly drilled into it. Fong Ping did not waste any time either. He drilled in immediately and covered the mud above him. Both of them still did not stay. Following the hole at the bottom of the river, they continued to drill down. Whether they could escape or not depended on this. Being chased by so many rank 7 and 8, if they encountered each other, they would definitely not survive. At this moment, Fong Ping did not have any aura. Old Man Li's aura was also rapidly weakening. Seeing that he seemed to have turned into mud, Fong Ping felt a slight headache. There was only a little bit of energy essence left. Could the old man still recover? Both of them did not make any sound. They were not breathing either. At Fong Ping's stage, although he could not stop breathing forever, under the circulation of vitality, not breathing for a few days was not a problem. As for how Old Man Li did it, Fong Ping did not care about this. Chapter 376. A powerful aura swept across the sky. Even though Fong Ping was more than 10 meters underground, he could still feel the rage in his voice. Waves of mental energy rampaged in all directions. Some experts were furious and kept attacking the ground. Those two fellows definitely couldn't have gone far. Moreover, Fong Ping digging a hole to escape was deeply ingrained in people's hearts. The powerhouses of gigantic Willow City could guess that they were underground. But where was it? The surrounding area was very large. If someone went deep underground, they might not be able to find anything even if they searched inch by inch. Could it be that they had to dig the entire place up? After venting for a long time, there was no movement outside. Both of them remained motionless, maintaining this position for 5 to 6 hours. Even though their auras had long since disappeared, the two of them did not move. It was as if they had no intention of getting up at all. Fong Ping felt that these people would not continue the search. Wu Chuan and the rest were still alive. The catacombs passageway also needed people. Gigantic Willow City had been destroyed to such an extent. Weren't these guys afraid that someone would take advantage of the situation and rob Gigantic Willow City? After about 7 to 8 hours, Fong Ping moved slightly and patted Old Li beside him. However, Old Li ignored him and continued to dig downwards. Seeing this, Fong Ping also understood what it meant. He started digging, and the two of them dug all the way down. After digging more than 10 meters deep, the two of them didn't stop and continued to dig horizontally. They couldn't leave this way because there might be someone waiting for them nearby. Now that they were deep underground, the two of them didn't care which direction they were heading in. They just kept digging like crazy. Both of them were considered powerhouses. They dug the pit with all their might. After digging for 4 to 5 hours, Fong Ping panted heavily. He said in a muffled voice, "Is this enough? It's almost time." Old Man Li's head swayed a little. Fong Ping jumped in fright and hurriedly held onto the old man's head. He asked unconfidently, "It won't fall off, right?" Old Man Li gave him a look. Fong Ping immediately said in disdain, "Don't look at me. Your eyes are crooked. It's disgusting. Little bastard, do you believe that I won't kick you to death?" Old Man Li cursed. Panting, he said, "Stop talking nonsense. Dig a hole and go up. I can't hold on any longer. I'm tired too. Are you coming?" Fong Ping had no choice but to dig upward with all his might. A few minutes later, the ground. At this moment, the sky was pitch black. It had been dark for a long time. Who? Who? Both of them collapsed to the ground, gasping for breath. After catching his breath, Fong Ping checked his injuries and said dejectedly, "Half of my internal organs are shattered. Many of my bones are broken, and my mentality has been shattered countless times. Old man, I've really suffered a great loss this time." Not only that, but he had lost too much wealth. From start to finish, Fong Ping could not remember exactly how much he had spent, but 1 or 200 million was the least. As for the energy essence, Fong Ping scanned the storage space. There was still about a small bowl of it left. Perhaps it was because he was out of danger that Fong Ping's wealth began to change. Wealth 1. 92 billion vitality. 1,200 calories, 3,399 calories. Mentality. 189 hertz, 699 hertz. Bones honed. 177 bones, 100%. 6 bones, 90%. 23 bones, 30% plus. Storage space. 1 cubic meter energy shield. 10,000 wealth/minute. I've gained more than 1 billion in wealth. Fong Ping did not know how much it was exactly, but it was about 2 billion. And 2 billion was actually only 40,000 credits. 30 credits for a gram of cultivation-aiding energy stones. That was more than 1,300 grams. Not even 3 caddies. This was still energy stones. If it was changed to energy essence, 1 gram of energy essence would be equivalent to at least 5 grams of cultivation-aiding energy stones. This was calculated in terms of the total amount. In other words, more than 200 grams of energy essence would be worth 2 billion. 1 gram of energy essence would be worth at least 4 million. This was the least. Fong Ping did not fill up his storage space, but he still had half of it. 1 cubic meter of water had 1,000 kilograms. That was 1 million grams. Even if the energy essence and water were the same weight, 1 square meter would be worth 4 trillion. Half. That was 2 trillion. Of course, at this point, money could no longer be measured. However, according to this calculation, Fong Ping might have 2 trillion wealth in his account. But now, 2 billion. Fong Ping had a mental breakdown. Suddenly, he turned around and pinched old Li, shouting, "A few trillion gone. A few trillion. It's enough to support a few thousand MCMU students to cultivate for 20 years. You only know how to fill and fill. You swallowed a few trillion from me. Old man, I'm going to kill you." The system was 2F*King unfair. It actually did not count those. What he had swallowed and what Old Li had consumed were not counted. Moreover, a lot had been wasted along the way. A large amount of energy essence had been scattered. He and Old Man Li might not have even used 1/3 of it. Old Man Li ignored him. After panting for a while, he said, "Is there more?" "No more. Stop talking nonsense. Protect me. I'll see if I can fix the bones." "Your bones are all broken. Idiot, the bones are still in my body. It's just that they were shattered into powder earlier. Let's see if we can fuse them now." As Old Man Li spoke, his body exuded a faint glow. The grass underneath grew wildly, turning into medicinal herbs in an instant. Fong Ping saw this and wanted to pull it up. Suddenly, a look of disgust appeared on his face. Disgusting. Old Man Li was not even wearing clothes. His boat was sitting on it. Thinking of this, Fong Ping looked down. Other than a pile of mud on the surface of his body, he was not wearing any clothes. He could not care less about the dirt on his body. Fong Ping took out a set of clothes and put them on instantly. This time, Old Man Li really stared at him for a long time. The clothes came out of thin air. It was the same with the energy essence earlier. This kid had too many secrets. Storage ring? He did not see him wearing a ring. Did that mean that it was some other storage equipment? So, storage equipment really existed. Long before this, Fong Ping had asked about storage equipment. Old Man Li even analyzed it with him and said that the sect might have it. Now Fong Ping had it. He stared at Fong Ping. Fong Ping said warily, "Don't look at me like that, old man. Don't tell me you're getting greedy at the sight of money. Let me tell you, this isn't storage equipment. This is a space opened up in my head after my brain mutated. Even if you kill me, there's a high chance you won't have it. Get lost." Old Man Li scolded. He said in a slightly depressed tone, "Don't talk nonsense. Don't show off in front of others. Take it easy." He was not the kind of person who would get greedy at the sight of money. Moreover, Fong Ping had really risked his life to save him this time. If he even wanted to steal Fong Ping's things, then he was looking down on Li Chongqing too much. That's good. Don't even think about it. Also, can you put on some clothes? We'll talk about it later. Old man Li was not in the mood. He said immediately, I'll gather my bones first, so that I don't lose all my energy essence. At this moment, his body still contained a large amount of energy essence, although it was not much compared to the amount that Willow Tree Monster had gathered over the years. Not even 1/10 of it. Willow Tree Monster had prepared it for a breakthrough to the Peak King realm. For powerhouses of that realm, the resources needed for a breakthrough were simply terrifying. It was no longer something that could be measured with money. If the energy essence that Fong Ping had taken away were all preserved, it would be enough for 5 to 6 rank 6 powerhouses to break through to Grandmaster. Maybe 7 to 8 would also have a chance. Old man Li absorbed half of it alone. Although a lot of it had leaked out at this moment, his body still contained a large amount of energy. Seeing that he wanted to cultivate, Fong Ping did not say anything more. He looked around and began to defend the surroundings. This night, Old man Li's body flashed with light from time to time. The plants underground grew wildly, containing a large amount of energy. Until dawn, Old man Li's head began to move continuously. The shattered bones began to gather together. Countless energy lights appeared. Some monsters nearby quickly gathered. Fong Ping, with his injured body, fought for a long time before he finally repelled these monsters. Boom! A booming sound rang in Old man Li's body. His skin was no longer blood red but gold. Golden body? Fong Ping's gaze changed slightly. When he looked again, Old man Li's head was also turning gold. Is he going to forge a real golden body? Previously, Old man Li was only a fake golden body. His skull could not be honed. However, at this moment, a large amount of energy filled his body, constantly honing those shattered bones. Even his skull seemed to be honing. A strong aura rose. The monsters no longer attacked. The monsters in the distance were also trembling. Many monsters fled quickly, leaving this place. Fong Ping also felt the pressure. His eyes kept flickering. Was Old Li going to become a golden body powerhouse? At this moment, the aura that was still rising suddenly stopped. Old man Li spat out a mouthful of pale golden blood. He opened his eyes and frowned, looking like he was deep in thought. What's wrong? Fong Ping hurried forward to ask. This won't do. Old man Li frowned. In a low voice, he said, although my mentality wasn't completely shattered before, it was almost completely shattered. To achieve a golden body, I need mentality-vitality fusion. This won't do, but as Old man Li spoke, he suddenly beamed with joy. I think I can feel my mentality. What do you mean? Idiot! Old man Li scolded. This means that I can heal my injuries now. Do you understand? Before this, I couldn't feel the existence of my mentality. My shattered mentality made me unable to sense it, and I couldn't strengthen it. It was like a pool of stagnant water. Now, this pool of stagnant water has been poured away. New living water has been born from the source. Fong Ping's eyes moved. He asked quickly, in other words, your mentality can grow again? Yes, Old man Li said excitedly. Moreover, I can be considered to have completely forged half a golden body now. The reason why it's not a golden body yet is because my bone marrow still can't transform. This time, my skull has been honed too. If I said it was half a golden body before, that would be a slight compliment. At most, it was considered a quarter golden body. Now it can be considered as 2/3. Fong Ping was a little confused. He said impatiently, tell me directly, can you beat a ranked 8? I can't. F***CK. You've swallowed a few trillion from me. Previously, you could even beat a rank 8. Now you still can't? Old man Li was speechless. Earlier, it was a desperate attack. Not only was it a desperate attack, but everything for the past 10 years had been integrated into the longevity sword. That was why he had the madness to kill a rank 8. Moreover, even if he killed a rank 8, it was under the situation where other people were holding him back. If he really had to fight alone, even if he risked his life, it would be hopeless. Fong Ping scratched his head. He asked again, "What about a rank 7? This time, Old Manly pondered for a moment. "It's hard to say." "What do you mean it's hard to say?" "My golden body is strong, but my mentality is weak. When I meet a rank 7, the other party has mentality-vitality fusion and can use celestiality. I can't. I can only use vitality force. The nature of vitality force is not as good as celestiality. Of course, my golden body is strong. His mentality deterrence won't have a strong effect on me. My skull has been honed. The other party's mentality attack won't have much effect on me in the future. Let's put it this way. I can only fight in close combat. If I fight in close combat, I don't know if a rank 7 is my opponent. I haven't fought before." "You can only fight in close combat?" Fong Ping was slightly stunned. "You can't say that." Old Man Li regained his smile. Compared to other rank 7s, their mentality can intimidate some weaklings from tens or even hundreds of meters away. Within the range of their mentality territory, they can kill martial artists who are weaker than them directly. I don't have this ability. I have to fight. Do you understand? Fong Ping nodded. In other words, if you can't outrun them, you can't hit them. If you can outrun them, go up and give them a good beating. They probably won't be your opponents. Unlike other rank 7s, even if they did not run and stood still, they could kill you directly from tens of meters away. That's only relatively speaking. If it's a typical rank 6 martial artist, I can kill him with a punch through the air with vitality force. Having said that, Old Manly smiled and stood up. Moreover, my physique is strong. It can nurture mentality faster. There's still a lot of energy essence in my body. Once my mentality catches up, maybe I can step into rank 8 in no time. You're considered a half-baked rank 8 now? Not really. I'm considered a half-baked peak rank 7. Fong Ping frowned and looked at him. Seeing that, Old Manly laughed. Actually, I'm already very satisfied. I didn't expect that not only did I not die this time, but I also benefited from a disaster. Nobody said that. Fong Ping said impatiently. The mud on your body is gone. You've kept your bird. Also, why didn't you grow any feathers? Old Manly was stunned for a moment. I'm talking about my half-golden body. What are you looking at? In the next second, Fong Ping was pinned down by him. Under Fong Ping's horrified gaze, Old Manly took off his clothes, leaving only a pair of underpants for him. Then, he changed into these clothes himself. In the wilderness, Old Manly was wearing clothes that did not fit him. With a bald head, he looked particularly strange. Fong Ping, on the other hand, was wearing underpants, looking annoyed. If you want clothes, just say it. I still have a set of clothes? Without saying a word, you came up and took off my clothes. Don't you know that it will cause misunderstandings? Old Man Li ignored him. He patted his shoulder, frowning slightly. Heal your wounds. Your injuries are not light. See if you can take the opportunity to hone your 5 viscera and enter rank 5. Fong Ping exhaled, gritting his teeth. This time, you owe me 2 trillion. Remember this first. Even if you achieve rank 8, I think it will be a long time before you can repay your debt. Don't play dumb with me. Don't think that you can get away with it. Remember to pay me back anyway. I'll try to break through. Let's not go to the passageway anymore. When our reinforcements arrive, we'll continue to gigantic Willow City. This time, I was beaten worse than a dog. I had to dig a hole and hide for a day and a night. This humiliation is simply unbearable. When have I ever suffered such a loss? Fong Ping felt ashamed just thinking about it. This stain must never be revealed. Taking off his clothes and digging a hole, he was worse than a rat underground. He was chased for a day. His body was beaten into a hornet's nest. This was too shameful. Go back? Old Man Li was speechless. This kid, his guts were really fat. This time he was lucky. The other party's rank 9 was not in the city. As for the giant tree in the city, because both of them were underground and extremely far away, it almost did not make a move. If that tree monster was really provoked to the point of disregarding everything, Although its movement speed was slow, it was only relatively speaking. If it went out of the city to pursue and kill, most rank 7 and 8 martial artists would be hung up and beaten. It was not that old man Lee had never seen these guardian monster plants in action. When he was young, he saw it once from afar. Its strength was extremely powerful. However, under normal circumstances, these monster plants would not make a move. They could also be treated as if they did not exist. However, it was obviously not possible now. Fong Ping had snatched the monster plant's things. These energy essences were extremely precious even to the monster plant. Go back. Fong Ping nodded fiercely. He did not care that his body was still bleeding. He humphed. Wait for me. I'll try to break through. When Nanjiang's second batch of powerhouses comes to help, that will be our chance. Even if they don't come today, they'll come tomorrow. I'll turn them upside down and let these bastards know the consequences of offending me. Chapter 377. At the same time, hundreds of li away from both of them, Li Hansong panted heavily, saying softly, I think they left. Aha! Qin Fengqing rubbed his chin, panting. That's weird. They left just like that? I was planning to walk them for a few more days. Wang Jinyang muttered. It seems like something urgent happened. Our people are here? If more people were coming from the Nanjiang passageway, it would be reasonable for them to retreat. So fast? Qin Fengqing asked suspiciously. The passageway hasn't been restored today, right? Then maybe Guardian Wu and the rest are pressuring them. Qin Fengqing continued to be suspicious, mumbling. I think they might be going after Fong Ping. Both Wang Jinyang and Qin Fengqing glanced at him at the same time. What did he think? Qin Fengqing mumbled, Don't doubt it. Instinct. That brat must have snuck into the city. Maybe he stole the mansion of the city lord. Now they're going back. Li Hansong could not help but defend Fong Ping. Nonsense. No matter how stupid Fong Ping is, he wouldn't do something like that. He's more likely to scout for information. Even if he could sneak into the city, he did not think Fong Ping would do something so stupid. Steal the mansion of the city lord? Did he have a death wish? Forget it if you don't believe me. Anyway, I think Fong Ping must have done something bad and is being hunted. Having said that, Qin Fengqing exhaled. Don't care so much. Since they're gone, let's continue. Continue? Li Hansong was stunned. Yeah, they're gone. Of course, we'll continue. While they're in trouble, we'll continue robbing and killing. Killing a middle-ranked will save countless humans. We're the heroes of humanity. Robbing an energy stone will weaken the enemy's strength, tilting the scales of victory toward humanity. We're the great pioneers. Qin Fengqing boasted for a while. Li Hansong could not help but say, I'm really hurt quite badly. It's okay. Just absorb more energy stones. Let's go. Hurry up. I want to heal. Aren't you delaying things? Let's go. Hurry up. We have time to heal. Speed is everything. If we wait for them to react, we won't have a chance. Li Hansong looked at Wang Jinyang for help. I really want to heal. Wang Jinyang said thoughtfully. Can you still hold on? I can, but that's good. Let's go. When I was running, I saw a town about 40 li to the south. Now, they won't expect us to kill our way back. Same old rules. Kill the martial artists and leave immediately after taking the items. All right. The two of you. Li Hansong was about to cry. Did you really not feel it? These two fellows were also injured. Qin Fengqing's buttocks were even shot by an arrow. His buttocks were about to explode. How could they tolerate this? Weak chicken. Qin Fengqing glanced at him and said disdainfully, CCMEU is getting weaker and weaker. If someone like you goes to MCMEU, you'll be a burden even if you're the vice president. I just want to heal myself. Li Hansong wanted to cry, but no tears came out. I'm not afraid of battle. I'm not avoiding battle, and I'm not saying that I won't kill. I just want to heal. It had been 48 hours since he came in yesterday, and the day before yesterday. He had been running away all this time, being chased, being killed, being robbed, escaping, being chased. I'm really tired and sleepy. I want to rest and heal my wounds. Wang Jinyang frowned slightly and said, Hold on a little longer. It's okay. You'll get used to it. In the catacombs, of course, one had to get used to being chased. Killing was rare. Most of the time, one had to get used to being chased. Being chased meant that there would be gains. If one did not find trouble with powerhouses and provoke powerhouses to chase after one, there would be no gains to speak of. A martial artist who was not being chased was not a good martial artist. When one was being chased, the stronger the person was, the greater one's gains would be. If one kept killing the weak, they would only become weaker and weaker. You'll get used to it, Li Hansong mumbled. He really did not have this awareness. In the capital city catacombs, humans actually had the upper hand. In the war that year, although capital cities suffered heavy losses, they also killed a large number of capital city catacombs powerhouses and even destroyed 2 cities. This also made the capital city catacombs far away from their enemy cities, thousands of miles away. In the middle area, the capital city humans also had the upper hand, forcing the other side into a defensive position. Moreover, the capital city catacombs had rank 9 powerhouses guarding it. It was safer. Li Hansong had stayed in the capital city catacombs for a long time. He was rarely chased after, or rather almost never. Over there, it was common for humans to hunt down catacombs martial artists. Li Hansong was still talking, but Qin Fengqin was already twisting his butt and running forward. As he ran, he said, "We can't be left behind. That kid has robbed God knows how many good things now. We can't do it on a small scale. I think we should rob this town. While Nanjiang's second batch of people comes to help, we'll go and destroy the other party's lair. It's too dangerous. If there's a high rank guarding, then we'll just wait for death." Wang Jinyang's voice came, saying, "But Nanjiang's second batch is coming. When the fight starts, we can ambush in the middle and see if we can kill some rank 5 and 6 martial artists. Killing them is also beneficial. Why don't we go around the city and sneak to the back? The further we go, the richer it gets. I have experience. The towns at the back have more energy, more powerhouses, and more energy stones. We'll see. Let's go to the town in front first." "All right, let's do this first." Both of them chatted as if there was no one else around. Li Hansong followed them with a sad face. It was too exciting, so exciting that he could not stand it. Were the other martial arts universities all this crazy? At the same time, at the catacombs passageway entrance, Zhou Dinghui killed all the soldiers around him with one palm. He raised his eyebrows slightly, saying, "That's strange. It's not a trap." That rank 9 suddenly left early in the morning. He thought it was a trap, but there was not even a high rank left here. However, the passageway was a place that must be fought for. Zhou Dinghui could not care so much. The other party actually left so much bait. He would eat it then. At most, he would continue running and meet up with Guardian Wu. But now, after killing these soldiers, the other party still had not returned. This time, Zhou Dinghui was puzzled. He did not think too much. After killing everyone, a rank 6 martial artist ran over from afar. Seeing this, Zhou Dinghui said immediately, "You go in first. When the passageway is stable, go back and report immediately." Having said that, Zhou Dinghui exhaled softly, saying, "There are 2 cities here. 2 rank 9s, 5 to 6 rank 8s, and about 20 rank 7s. However, the other city did not go all out. Only the city lord led a few rank 8s to chase after Guardian Wu. When the passageway is stable, you guys go in tomorrow morning. I'll go find Guardian Wu. We'll coordinate from the inside and outside, break through the defense, and build a stronghold here." "All right." This rank 6 was not an indecisive person. As he said that, he said with a hint of sadness, "Commander Zhou, be careful. There are only a few of us left now. You be careful too. The passageway is not stable. Once people from the catacombs enter, you'll be discovered. When that time comes, take a risk and see if you can go back." The catacombs passageway was not stable. It was easy to be smashed into pieces by the violent energy flow if one rushed in recklessly. Only when the energy was no longer violent could one pass through. Entering the passageway now was also a huge risk. Whether one could return to the surface when the energy was stable depended on luck. It was also a mission with a slim chance of survival. However, this rank 6 martial artist did not complain. At this moment, He was the only rank 6 powerhouse left. The other person did not manage to escape last time. After escaping, he was still caught up by the furious rank 7 powerhouse. When a rank 6 encountered a rank 7, very few people could escape. Today, the few young people's whereabouts were unknown. Whether they were alive or not was unknown. Among the rank 6 martial artists, he was the only one alive. Rank 9 Wu Chuan was currently being besieged. Right now, it was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Until now, rank 8 Zhou Dinghua's injuries had not healed. Among the rank 7 powerhouses, 2 died in battle, 2 were seriously injured, and the remaining one was taking care of them. He dared not act rashly. Right now, he was the only one who could go back and report. "I'm going then. Be careful." After waiting for this person to enter the passageway, Zhou Dinghua sighed softly in his heart. Whether he could go back alive depended on his luck. Once the energy inside the passageway erupted, the probability of shattering the other party was very high. Once again, he tilted his head to look behind him. What was happening behind him? It actually made that rank 9 powerhouse disregard everything and give up guarding the passageway. Was it Guardian Wu? Zhou Dinghua did not know. He did not stay here for long either. Right now, he still had to go meet up with Guardian Wu and strive to coordinate with him from the inside and outside. Then he would think about it after taking down the passageway. In the wilderness, Fong Ping was not in a hurry to break through. Instead, he was healing his injuries. His injuries were not light. He looked like he was alive and kicking. If it were someone else, they might have died long ago. Previously, he had been relying on vitality recovery to nourish his internal organs. Later, he swallowed a large amount of energy essence. These essences damaged his internal organs while also healing his internal injuries. Right now, as Fong Ping healed his injuries, the plants under his buttocks also began to grow wildly. Large amounts of energy essence began to overflow, causing the surrounding energy concentration to rise continuously. Old Man Li did not have any mentality pressure, but his aura was extremely strong. Within a radius of a few hundred meters, not a single monster dared to cross the boundary. After suppressing these monsters, Old Man Li swept his gaze over Fong Ping for a moment. This kid was really lucky. Even now, Old Man Li still had some lingering fear. He had almost died there. Fong Ping had been entangled with people in the city for half a day, yet he did not die. He even snatched away the energy essence that was guarded by a rank 9. Not only was his life extremely tough, but his luck was also extremely good. He asked himself, could he do it now? Not necessarily. Even if he snatched the energy essence, there was a 99% chance that he could not escape. He did not have as many trump cards as Fong Ping did. Other things aside, with large amounts of energy essence overflowing with energy, he was like a beacon. Those rank 7 and 8 powerhouses would not let him go no matter how fast he was. When the rank 9 returned and followed the energy source to find him, he would definitely die. Could Wu Chuan do it, let alone him? Wu Chuan had just entered the city when he was discovered by the willow tree monster. Once he entered the inner city, he would be entangled. If a few rank 9s were attracted, he would probably be surrounded and killed. Those who could really do it were people like Commander Li, who could use their powerful strength to suppress everything. Those who did not have this strength, perhaps only Fong Ping could do it. In other words, if Fong Ping did not save him this time, he would have been dead long ago. Old Man Li's emotions were complicated. He owed this kid a few lives already. Once at the passageway entrance, saving him counted as 1, helping him to regain his strength, and even curing his chronic illness counted as 1 too. For martial artists, stagnating in strength and being unable to improve was a fate worse than death. He could endure for 10 years. This time he risked his life to slash. That was with the conviction that he would die. Now he did not die. His strength had advanced further, and his mentality could also be nurtured. Old Man Li's emotions were extremely complicated. That day, when he saw this kid for the first time in the logistics department, he did not think that this day would come. At that time, he also had the thought of cultivating a genius for MCMEU, so he took care of Fong Ping a little. Fong Ping's talent was shocking. He was thrice honed and came from an ordinary background. Hence, Old Manly did not mind that he took a little advantage. He had no use for it anyway. All these years, after he cultivated to peak rank 6, he almost never used MCMAU's resources. Those resources were actually subsidized by him to the students, but most of the students did not know that. Unexpectedly, he would benefit from this in the end. This was not something that a little subsidy could compare to. With so much energy essence, even rank 9 powerhouses would be tempted. Human martial artists were actually poorer than the catacombs martial artists. The average rank 9 was not as free as those peerless powerhouses, and their gains were far from theirs. If Fong Ping did not return to the inn at that time, could he have escaped with these energy essences? With this kid's shrewdness, the probability of him running away was still very high. With so much energy essence, he could cultivate to rank 5, rank 6 quickly. The barrier of Grandmaster did not exist for him. Rank 7 and rank 8 would not be difficult either. Perhaps there would be some barriers for rank 9, but he would at least be peak rank 8. And the time he would spend might only be 2 or 3 years. Giving up the opportunity to become a peak rank 8 powerhouse to achieve his own success. This kid was probably bleeding from the heartache now, right? Old Manly smiled, exhaled softly, and did not think anymore. Some things did not need to be said verbally. Just like Fong Ping, he never said anything like, "You subsidize me. I am grateful. I will repay you sooner or later." He did not even say this. Just as Old Manly was thinking about these, Fong Ping coughed out a mouthful of dirty blood. The blood seeped into the ground, causing the plants to grow wildly again. This is too extravagant. Fong Ping still had the leisure to say this. Right now, even his fart carried energy. This was really too extravagant. Old Man Li was a little speechless. He said, "How is it? The 5 viscera have been completely remodeled," Fong Ping said, and then said, "This energy is not right." Ah! Old Man Li was not surprised. He nodded and said, "This energy is not just pure celestial energy. It is mixed with a lot of, how should I put it, vitality? Big willow tree." Fong Ping had seen the way the willow tree monster collected energy before. Energy was gathered in the sky, and after the big willow tree absorbed it, it was converted and stored. This was not a simple collection, but it was converted once. No wonder it can heal high-ranked people. As Fong Ping said this, his eyes moved slightly. He said, "Old Manly, this big willow tree is really good stuff. Let's not talk about the conversion of energy. Its roots are extremely tough. Its trunk can probably be forged into a divine weapon. Its muscles, bones, and skin are all good stuff. I don't know if it's a willow tree. If it can bear fruit, then it will be amazing, a holy fruit. This is even more awesome than having a mine at home. After all, energy mines are consumables, but this one is alive. Also, Royal City's energy mines are renewable. Maybe this is also thanks to it. If we catch it alive and put it in MCMEU, then MCMU will be a martial artist paradise. Commander Lee and the others have never caught one before? I don't know, but it's so big. Even if we catch it, we won't be able to bring it back." Old Man Lee was a little envious when he heard this, but he quickly recovered and shouted, "What are you thinking about instead of thinking about breaking through? There's no hurry." Fong Ping was unhurried. He said calmly, "Willow trees can live by cutting branches, you say? You have to have a mine at home?" Old Manly said, "It was not that humans did not have this idea. They did not pay attention to guardian monster plants, but some monster plants that could gather energy, and some were not too strong, so they still had ideas. The key was that these monster plants did not have energy to support them. On Earth, they would die and wither very quickly. Unlike the catacombs, energy was abundant. Forget about the energy mines, even the energy sun in the sky was emitting energy all the time. The main source of energy in the catacombs was this big sun. Unless this sun was brought to Earth as well. Just as Old Manly had this idea, Fong Ping also thought of this. He could not help but look up. The sky was already bright. The sun that he thought was ugly in the past now looked exceptionally cute. One day, sooner or later, Fong Ping did not continue. Old Man Li was speechless. One day, what were you going to do? Were you going to pluck this sun? It was hard to say where this sun was. There were rank 9 powerhouses who used flight step tens of thousands of meters. In the end, the sun was still the same, unchanged and the same size. Fong Ping said no more. He took a deep breath. 5 crystal-clear, celestial bridges appeared on the surface of his body. Above his head, 3 doors floated in the air. At this moment, in the celestial bridges, a large amount of energy appeared. It was not like the last time, when Yao Qingjun and the others had to rely on grandmasters to gather energy for them to break through. Celestial bridges as one. As one, I will be rank 5. At this moment, it was the end of December 9th. Not even 10 years had passed. In April 8th, Fong Ping had come into contact with martial arts. 20 months later, Fong Ping had stepped into rank 5. In this world, who else but him could do it? In the second semester of sophomore year, maybe I will step into rank 6. Junior year Grandmaster, I will become a human legend. Since ancient times, who has broken through faster than me? Fong Ping mumbled to himself. Old Man Li said lightly. Ancient records say that some people become immortal in a day. They can be regarded as grandmasters in a day. Bullsh ** T ancient books. Fong Ping cursed. You believe in ancient books? Why don't you believe in those myths? Pangu can even open up a universe. Ignoring Old Man Li, Fong Ping let out a roar. The 5 celestial bridges began to merge instantly. When others merged, they formed a circle. Fong Ping merged. Old Man Li watched for a while and could not help but yell, "Don't mess around. You can't change the path of martial arts." Fong Ping still had the energy to speak. Looking at the big flatbread in front of him, he said with a broken expression, "I didn't change it. There's too much energy. The celestial bridges are flattened." Old Man Li's face was blank. There was such a situation? If the celestial bridges were flattened into a flatbread, what would happen? There were no records in the ancient books. People today also cultivated step by step. Even if someone used energy stones to cultivate, it would not reach the point where the energy would flatten the celestial bridges. After all, there was a limit to the human body's absorption. Fong Ping, what was going on? Old Man Li, stop watching. Help me suppress it. I can't suppress it anymore. If I can't suppress it, it'll explode. Flattened into a flatbread. Old Man Li gulped. I've lived for so long, but I've never done this before. Chapter 378. On the wasteland, Old Man Li's vitality force erupted, forcefully suppressing the celestial bridge. If he did not suppress it, Fong Ping would explode soon. When others broke through rank 5, the 5 celestial bridges connected end to end, forming a ring shape. It also meant to grow and multiply endlessly. When the energy entered the body, the 5 celestial bridges absorbed and converted it, supplying it to the body instead of leaking out. However, Fong Ping, the energy was too rich right now, squashing the long celestial bridges. The celestial bridge was also the name of an energy channel. Under normal circumstances, when there was too much energy, the celestial bridge would only explode, not be squashed. Fong Ping's celestial bridge, on the other hand, had been used by Fong Ping to convert celestiality during his competition. Celestiality was much stronger than pure particle energy and vitality force. During the championship, Fong Ping used the celestial bridge to convert celestiality. After that, he used a large amount of vitality force and mentality to nourish it, making the celestial bridge extraordinarily tough. Right now, the absorbed energy essence should be replaced by what the catacombs martial artists called life essence. This was not pure energy essence. After being converted by the rank 9 tree monster, it carried a lot of vitality force. Right now, this energy was expanding the celestial bridge while mending the cracks, making the celestial bridge more and more bloated, flatter and flatter. Fong Ping was still conscious. Looking at the 5 bridges becoming flatter and flatter, he had the urge to cry. Is this still the celestial bridge? Can I keep it in my body later? The celestial bridge was not considered a physical entity. Similar to the Sanjiao Gate, it was also an intangible existence. However, right now, it did not look intangible at all. It was almost a physical entity. How could he keep such a big pie in his body? While Fong Ping was thinking about this problem, Old Man Li was thinking too. While suppressing the celestial bridge, he mumbled, "It's too big. I might not be able to keep it back." If he could not keep it back, Fong Ping would become a cripple. He would not be considered a cripple. If he could not keep it in his body, he could only let the celestial bridge float outside his body in the future. With such a big target, if a person fought with him, they would hit this target. If it exploded, Fong Ping might be seriously injured and drop his rank. Try and see if you can retract it. Old Man Li exclaimed softly. Hearing that, Fong Ping started trying. Halfway through, Fong Ping stuck his tongue out, as if he had eaten too much. He said with difficulty, "I can't do it. I feel like I'm going to explode." Old Man Li felt helpless. After a while, he said, "Then try pressing it a little more. Try a little smaller." Fong Ping did not waste any time. He began to compress himself, and Old Man Li began to cooperate. The pancake, which was originally the size of a wash basin, gradually began to shrink. It became smaller and smaller, but the energy became denser and denser. Old Man Li mumbled, "Your self-destruction is even more destructive than others." Fong Ping's expression darkened. What was the old man thinking? Why would he think of doing something as cruel as self-detonation? Ignoring him, Fong Ping looked at the celestial bridge that was being compressed continuously, muttering, "Will it be compressed into a golden core? I'm going to open up the path of cultivation." "Stop talking nonsense." Old Man Li scolded exasperatedly. He yelled, "Don't think about those ridiculous things. Cultivation has existed since ancient times. Whether it's true or not, it has already been proven that it's a heretical way. Immortal cultivation cultivates qi. Martial arts cultivates the body. The inside and outside are one. The golden body is indestructible, and the mentality is everlasting. This is the right path. Don't think that gods and immortals are stronger than martial arts. Martial artists of our generation annihilate immortals and slay gods. Our own strength is the foundation." Fong Ping saw that he had said so much and was speechless. He said, "I'm just saying, why you take it so seriously? I'm just reminding you not to go astray. Even if there are immortals in this world, if they encounter us, we'll destroy them with one punch." Old Man Li was extraordinarily confident, extraordinarily savage. Even if there were immortals, if they encountered them, they would also die. A rank 8 golden body, an indestructible golden body, and the mentality was everlasting. Other than martial artists who could kill them? All right, no wonder the names of Governor General Zhang's cultivation methods are so Chinibyu. Cultivation was something that had existed since ancient times. The everlasting existence of martial arts also proved which cultivation path was the right path, which was the universal path. Martial artists were also extraordinarily confident. They did not think that there were other external paths that could surpass martial arts. The reason why the catacombs were so powerful was because they also cultivated martial arts. They cultivated themselves, not external objects. When Fong Ping said that he wanted to open up a new path from Old Man Li's point of view, that meant that he did not want to walk the path that led to the heavens, but walk the narrow path instead. This was a battle of paths. Fong Ping made it sound like a joke, but from Old Man Li's point of view, it was a serious matter that could not be treated as a joke. Both of them did not speak anymore, continuing to compress the celestial bridge. Gradually, the flatbread was compressed until it was only the size of a bowl. At this moment, it could no longer be compressed. Seeing this, Old Man Li panted slightly and said, "Try it. See if you could take it back." Fong Ping did not delay and hurriedly tried. This time it was much smoother than before. He could take it back into his body. The next second after it was taken back into his body, Fong Ping's body suddenly swelled up, scaring Fong Ping into a panic. "Mother **, I'm going to explode." Old Man Li frowned and shouted, "Start honing your internal organs immediately. Use up the excess energy. Fong Ping did not delay, nor did he sit cross-legged. Instead, he cultivated his pole standing. Ever since he cultivated flight step, Fong Ping rarely stood in a stance. It was not just him. There were not many martial artists who cultivated pole standing when they reached the middle ranks. However, at this moment, as Fong Ping cultivated his stance, all the cells in his body were trembling, beginning to absorb the energy in the flatbread in a frenzy. His internal organs looked especially crystal clear. His flesh was beginning to turn into energy. However, it was different from the catacombs martial artists. The catacombs martial artists, from the beginning of their cultivation, were turning into energy. Humans, in fact, still maintained certain human characteristics. What was produced in the body was still vitality force. Although the internal organs had turned into energy, the core was still the body of flesh and blood. This was the biggest difference between humans and the catacombs martial artists. When the catacombs martial artists reached a certain stage, their organs would completely turn into energy. The internal organs began to become crystal clear, and the other internal organs began to change too. Rank 4 honed the internal organs, while rank 5 honed the 6 internal organs. The 6 internal organs were just a figurative reference. Rank 5 actually referred to the honing of all the human organs that had not been honed, other than the skull. Rank 5 was also a complicated process. At this stage, martial artists must hone all the organs that had not been honed, including the flesh and meridians, in preparation for forging a golden body in the future. Only when the internal organs such as the gallbladder, stomach, and large and small intestines had been honed would they be considered middle stage rank 5. Only when the meridians had been remodeled would they be upper stage rank 5. According to the Division of Martial Arts, the human body had 14 main meridians and 206 minor meridians. Only when all 220 meridians had been remodeled would they be considered upper stage rank 5. Peak rank 5, on the other hand, was only peak rank 5 after the flesh and blood had been remodeled. When human martial artists reached peak rank 5, other than the brain, they had already been reborn. At rank 6, the Sanjiao Gate was sealed and mentality was cultivated. At this stage, the cultivation was more virtual. Rank 5 martial artists sounded like the honing process was very troublesome. There were many places to hone, but the difficulty of honing was not too high. When the human body was highly honed, the local honing became easier. Some martial artists might be stuck at early stage rank for the rest of their lives, unable to reform their hearts. However, under normal circumstances, rank 5 martial artists could cultivate to peak rank 5 sooner or later as long as they were willing to put in the time. For the breakthrough from peak rank 5 to rank 6, materializing the virtual Sanjiao Gate was difficult. Rank 6 was not so easy to enter. At this moment, Fong Ping had combined the 5 celestial bridges into one. He was considered to have entered early stage rank 5. At this time, if he wanted to enter middle stage rank 5, then he had to hone the 6 organs. Large amounts of energy gushed out from the compressed celestial bridge and began to hone his 5 viscera and 6 bowels. Organs such as gallbladder and stomach began to show signs of jade-like texture. This process was very fast. Seeing that, Old Man Li breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed that other than the celestial bridge being a little ugly, there were no other problems. Other people's celestial bridges were all beautiful rings at rank 5. Fong Ping's, on the other hand, was an extremely ugly lump of dung. It was still considered a big flat cake before. Now that the flat cake was squeezed together, it had become a lump of dung. Seeing that Fong Ping was still digesting the energy and honing his internal organs, Old Man Li thought for a while and said, "Take it easy. Honing the 6 organs will expel impurities." As soon as he finished speaking, a series of noises suddenly rang out in the wilderness. Fong Ping's expression was one of ease and satisfaction. He moaned in extreme comfort. "This feels so good. I haven't taken a dump for a few months. I didn't even fart." Old Man Li's expression was pitch black. "Can you not *King look like that? It's just a fart. Those who don't know would think that you did something." The 6 organs and the digestive system were related. Before middle stage rank 5, martial artists rarely took a dump. Sometimes, they would do it once every few months. However, after achieving middle stage rank 5, they could almost say goodbye to the toilet. At this time, when they ate something, it would be digested quickly and converted into energy and vitality. There were very few impurities left, and they would be quickly excreted along with their sweat. In reality, when martial artists reached rank 5 and 6, unless it was to satisfy their gluttonous cravings, there was no difference whether they ate normal food or not. After letting out an extremely long and loud fart, Fong Ping stopped. He exhaled and left the spot. It was very smelly. Although there seemed to be some energy mixed in it, it was not much. He had no intention of recycling it. With the unification of the Celestial Bridge, the energy leakage of the current hymn was already extremely small. When the Sanjiao Gate was closed, martial artists would almost never experience vitality energy leakage unless they were seriously injured. After stopping, the first thing Fong Ping did was to uproot the plants that had grown wildly because of the energy leakage. Old Man Li raised his eyebrows slightly when he saw that. Fong Ping said while uprooting, "Although it grew from the energy I excreted, it's still good stuff. If I don't eat it, it's the same if I sell it to others." Plants that grew under the essence of life were sacred medicines for many people. If Fong Ping took it back to MCMAU and tossed it on the ground, countless people would probably fight for it. He was not interested in it, and he would not eat the stuff that grew from his buttocks. Other people did not know. Even if they knew, they might not care. Many of the fruits and vegetables that they ate grew from being watered with feces. Old Man Li was speechless. He ignored him and asked, "How do you feel?" "Not bad. Not bad." As soon as he said that, Fong Ping's expression suddenly changed. He quickly sat cross-legged and said with difficulty, "Mentality is starting to transform. Stay away from me." As soon as he said that, a ripple appeared around Fong Ping. A large amount of mentality erupted from Fong Ping's body. Beside him, Old Man Li was not affected, but his body glowed with a golden light. "Good job, kid." Old Man Li's expression changed. This mentality was not weak. A typical rank 5 martial artist mentality was more than 400 hertz. Many people were stuck at 499 hertz when they reached peak rank 6. However, Fong Ping's mentality had exceeded 700 hertz. In the void, ripples appeared slightly. The surrounding plants were torn apart, and the soil was lifted up. Old Man Li did not move an inch. If it were him in the past, he might have taken a few steps back. However, the current him, although his mentality was still weak, his vitality force was extremely strong. When his vitality force was incomparably strong, Fong Ping's bit of mentality could not affect him at all. As soon as the mentality ripples got close to him, they were shattered by his vitality force. If he was not afraid of hurting Fong Ping, Old Man Li's full vitality outburst was enough to tear his entire mentality apart. The breakthrough lasted for 7 to 8 minutes. When Fong Ping opened his eyes again, there were some changes. His gaze was deeper. His eyes were brighter and more radiant. If one did not look at his style and the scars on his face, Fong Ping at this moment was extremely handsome. However, looking at his whole body, he looked like a mudman. Until now, he was still wearing underpants. Fong Ping did not care so much. His body shook slightly, and all the soil on his body fell off. His skin showed a bronze color, showing signs of turning into a pale gold. "Kid, the strength of your body is almost close to the strength of a half-golden body, right? How much vitality force can you hold now?" Old Man Li could not help but ask. Normal rank 3, 1,000 calories limit. Rank 4, 2,000 calories limit. Rank 5, about 4,000 calories. Rank 6, the limit was 10,000 cal. Of course, at that stage, the vitality limit did not mean anything. There were few times when one was exhausted. 10 rank 3 martial artists with 1,000 calories vitality would also have 10,000 cal vitality. If they encountered a peak rank 6, it would not be surprising if they were all killed with one slap. At this stage, the upper limit of vitality determined the strength of the physique, the degree of honing of the flesh, and the power of combat techniques. From the outside, Fong Ping's physique was not weak. A typical peak rank 5 might not be stronger than him. Fong Ping did not reply. He took a closer look at the new data. Wealth. 1. 92 billion vitality. 1,800 calories. 3,999 calories. Mentality. 560 hertz. 725 hertz plus. Bones honed. 177 bones. 100%. 6 bones. 90%. 23 bones. 30% plus. Storage space. 1 cubic meter energy shield. 10,000 wealth/minute vitality, close to 4,000 calories. His mentality had also broken through the 699 hertz barrier and exceeded 700 hertz. A vitality of 3,999 calories meant that Fong Ping's physique was now almost the same as a typical peak rank 5. As for him, his 6 organs had not been honed yet. His meridians and flesh had not been reshaped. These few stages were all stages of being reborn. Behind his mentality, a plus sign appeared again. This also meant that he could continue to improve. Of course, Fong Ping was not interested in improving at this time. If he lost control in the catacombs, it would be too dangerous. It would not be too late to go back and try. I might become the strongest rank 5, the strongest rank 6 in history. At this moment, Fong Ping's confidence had simply swelled to an unparalleled level. Yao Qingjun and the others had also broken through a few days ago. Wang Jinyang had broken through after returning to Nanjiang. It had been less than a week since then. Fong Ping, on the other hand, followed closely behind. The gap was almost negligible. Moreover, a large amount of life essence had honed his 5 viscera and 6 bowels. Those fellows might not have honed as deeply as he did. From this point alone, his progress in early stage rank 5 should have surpassed these 3 people. I didn't expect this. Not only have I surpassed these people's combat strength, but now even their ranks have been left behind by me. Fong Ping sighed. 20 months. 20 months. He had surpassed those people who he had looked up to in the past. He could not help but glance sideways at Old Man Li as if to say, "If you don't work hard, I will surpass you soon." Old Man Li's expression darkened. He ignored him. What was so great about it? He was only rank 5. I have half a golden body now. If I nourish my mentality for a few months, I might achieve true rank 7. If I nourish it for a year or 2, I might achieve true rank 8. No matter how fast you are, can you be faster than me? Although he thought so, when he remembered that Fong Ping was rank 4 in mid-August and rank 5 in late December. Chapter 379. At the same time, Nanjiang Auspicious Peace. December 21st, Fong Ping and the others entered the catacombs. At this moment, it was already the afternoon of December 23rd. Although only 2 days had passed, to many people, 2 days passed in a flash. However, to many people in Auspicious Peace, these 2 days were too torturous. How was the situation in the catacombs? Did they build a stronghold and guard the passageway? Did anyone sacrifice? Those who went in, who lived and who died. It had been 2 days. The passageway was about to be stabilized for the second time. Would anyone from the other side come back to report? At the vortex mouth, an alloy house had already been built. Outside the alloy house, a few Grandmaster powerhouses were like clay statues. They had been standing here for a long time, motionless, as if they had been petrified. 7 high Grandmasters entered the catacombs, followed by more than 10 rank 6 powerhouses. A few prodigies of the current generation also entered together. It was hard to tell whether they were alive or dead. After an unknown amount of time, a white-haired old man suddenly soared into the sky, shouting angrily, just in time. As soon as he finished speaking, a sky-piercing saber gleam flashed past. 1,000 meters away, a mountaintop exploded instantly, turning into dust. Amidst the explosion, there was a muffled groan so low that it could not be heard. Humph! The white-haired old man snorted heavily. Without even looking, he stepped on the air and landed on the ground, saying coldly, "Clown, old Zhao is getting stronger and stronger." Among the few Grandmasters, someone exclaimed. From 1,000 meters away, he killed a rank 7 with 1 slash. Yes, rank 7. Unbelievable. Rank 7s were not cabbages. Especially to the evil sect, rank 7s were definitely the higher-ups of the higher-ups. Now, the other party did not come close, but hid nearby. He was probably trying to find out information. A rank 7 powerhouse coming to find out information was enough to show the other party's cautiousness. Even if he was discovered, the other party had the confidence to escape. Perhaps the evil sect did not expect Zhao Xingwu's ability to be stronger than before. He discovered the other party from 1,000 meters away and killed the rank 7 powerhouse on the spot with one slash. This time, the evil sect's higher-ups would probably be heartbroken. This death was too useless. Recently, many high ranks were killed one after another. It even exceeded the number of powerhouses who had fallen in the past years. Has old Zhao achieved rank 9 Paragon? The Grandmasters were shocked and envious. A rank 9 killing a rank 7 like slaughtering a chicken. This was enough to show how strong Zhao Xingwu was. At the very least, when the rank 9 Sky Gate City Lord killed people like Wu Quishan, he was far from being able to kill them instantly. Rank 9 and rank 9 were also entirely different. Zhao Xingwu shook his head slightly and said softly, "It's not that simple. I'm still far from it." Even though the old man said so, they knew he was being modest. Even if it was Wu Chuan, if he wanted to kill a rank 7, even if he had to deploy a divine weapon, he would need to expend at least some effort. However, Zhao Xingwu's single slash had destroyed the entire mountain peak. Even if he had not reached rank 9 Paragon, he was not far from it. It was precisely because of Zhao Xingwu's existence that the sects were able to maintain a certain status in the era of the rise of martial arts universities. This rank 9 powerhouse ranked 8th was only one rank higher than Wu Chuan, but his ability was obviously much stronger. In the crowd, a man in military uniform, who was also the commander of the Nanjiang Military Department, said with a straight face, "It's Nanjiang's honor that Elder Zhao could come to Nanjiang this time. I have a presumptuous request. Please speak, Commander Bai. If things don't work out, I hope Elder Zhao can bring the governor back," the man in military uniform said with some difficulty. Zhang Dingnan entering the catacombs this time, his ability was not the strongest, neither was his status the highest. However, Zhang Dingnan was the spiritual faith of many people in Nanjiang. Once the situation in Nanjiang worsened and Zhang Dingnan died in the catacombs, it would be one disaster after another. Many people disapproved of Zhang Dingnan entering the catacombs. Even the central government did not approve of it. However, Zhang Dingnan insisted on going, and they could not stop him. It would be fine if he built a stronghold in the catacombs. If he did not, Nanjiang's situation would deteriorate. Without Zhang Dingnan holding the fort, Nanjiang's future would be very uncertain. Zhao Xingwu said in a low voice, "I will definitely do my best." Nanjiang was not too far from Chengzhou. If Nanjiang's situation worsened, Chengzhou would also be affected. This time, Zhao Xingwu did not hold the fort in Chengzhou's catacombs. Instead, he rushed to Nanjiang to help Nanjiang stabilize the situation, build a stronghold in the catacombs, and not let the battlefield spread to the surface. As for the other grandmasters, to put it bluntly, it was not easy for Wu Chuan to die in battle. If the others died in battle, it would only affect a small area. However, if Zhang Dingnan died in battle, the impact would be huge. Zhao Xingwu had just finished speaking when someone behind him said worriedly, "Grandpa Zhao, can you bring Fong Ping back together?" Zhao Xingwu turned his head to look. There were still many people behind him. These people had been guarding here since the first batch of martial artists entered. Zhao Xingwu knew Chun Yaoting's granddaughter. Both parties had been in contact before. Hearing her words, Zhao Xingwu sighed softly in his heart. He had also heard about the few young prodigies entering. His grandson had even lost to Yao Qingjun before, and Yao Qingjun had lost to Fong Ping. The old master also valued these prodigy martial artists very much. However, this time, the few of them entering was indeed a little risky. Even the fate of the grandmaster powerhouses was unknown. Were these rank 4 and 5 prodigies still alive? The old master was actually a little pessimistic. However, facing these young people now, the old master still smiled and said, Don't worry, there won't be any big problems. With Guardian Wu leading the team, unless the catacombs turns out in full force, they won't be able to do anything to them. Just as the old master finished speaking, the vortex in the alloy house suddenly shook. Everyone's expression changed. Very soon, Zhao Xingwu said in a low voice, "The passageway has stabilized for the second time. Will anyone come back? Wait! The rest of you fall back. Prepare for battle." The Grand Masters shouted one after another. At this moment, the ones who came out might be the messenger, or they might be the catacombs people. No one knew who exactly it would be. Of course, it was also possible that no one would appear. If no one appeared, that meant that the first batch of people who entered could not come back to report the news. The situation would not be too good. If the catacombs martial artists did not appear, perhaps they were waiting. The middle and low-rank martial artists at the back retreated one after another. In front, the Grand Masters surrounded the alloy house so tightly that not even a drop of water could pass through. In the distance, a large number of military equipment was aimed at this place. Once the situation went out of control, this place would be razed to the ground. Time passed bit by bit. Everyone who had retreated to a distance was nervous and expectant. They all looked uneasy. What happened to the first batch of people who entered? The Grandmasters in front also looked solemn, fully on guard. A dull and lusterless broadsword appeared in Zhao Xingwu's hand out of thin air. Although he was powerful, if a rank 9 Paragon powerhouse really broke out, he could not defend either. As for those rank 9 Paragon powerhouses in Sino Nation, they all had important matters to attend to. Some of them were currently deep in the catacombs, while others were responsible for guarding important places. Even if they came to help, they might not be able to arrive in time. The old master sighed in his heart. His strength was not as good as others. Otherwise, this would not have happened. Just as these thoughts flashed through his mind, the vortex started shaking slightly. "They're out." Feeling the vortex shaking, the old master's expression changed. The Changdao in his hand emitted a faint golden glow, ready to attack at any time. The next moment, an aura appeared. Zhao Xingwu suddenly breathed a sigh of relief and said immediately, "They're on our side. It's old Zheng." Among the Grandmasters, some of them felt the aura. Their faces lit up with joy. Their people had returned. However, in the next moment, their expressions changed. The martial artist they called Old Zheng had a weak aura. It was obvious that he was seriously injured. This was not a good situation. Nanjiang's commander Bai was not in a hurry to open the alloy house's door. Instead, he waited for a moment before saying, "Open the door." Outside the alloy house, 2 rank 6 martial artists only opened the alloy door from the outside when they heard this. As soon as the door opened, an old man covered in blood walked out with trembling steps. 2 rank 9s, 5 to 6 rank 8s, and about 20 rank 7s. At dawn tomorrow, Guardian Wu and Commander Zhou will restrain the enemy. We'll coordinate from the inside and the outside to build a stronghold. The old man reported the news as soon as he went out. Then, blood kept flowing out of his mouth. He had been in the passageway for a while. Previously, the passageway's energy was unstable, and he almost died in the passageway. He barely held on until the energy was stable before he rushed out of the passageway and returned to the surface. As soon as he said this, many people's expressions changed slightly. 2 rank 9s, the strength of 2 cities. The worst-case scenario had happened. For so many years, when the passageway was opened, it was usually 1 city that was mobilized. Furthermore, it was rare for the entire nest to be mobilized. Zhao Xingwu took a deep breath and said immediately, "Heal your injuries first. You'll tell us the details later." The others wanted to say something, but hesitated. They wanted to ask about the situation, but they were afraid of hearing news they did not want to hear. At least the current situation was not at its worst. At least Wu Chuan and Zhou Dingwu were still alive. But what about the others? Old Zheng was not in a hurry to heal his injuries. Seeing the young people walking toward him from behind, he said in a low voice, "Let them leave first." Everyone's expressions changed again. Commander Bai turned around and shouted, "The others are not allowed to come near." As soon as he said that, a large number of military powerhouses blocked the way. On the periphery, many people looked anxious. The situation did not seem too good. Old Zheng, what's going on? As soon as we got out of the passageway, we were besieged by a rank 9, 3 rank 8s, and 9 rank 7s. Director Zhou self-destructed his divine weapon. In the end, he self-destructed too and died on the spot. In the end, Li Chongqing shattered his half-golden body and slashed his longevity sword. He cooperated with Governor General Zhang and the rest to kill a rank 8, but he died too. Vice-Chancellor Qin died on the spot to save Governor General Zhang. Half of Governor General Zhang's mentality was obliterated, and he suffered serious injuries. I'm afraid he won't be able to recover his Grandmaster combat strength. Vice-Chancellor Liu was also seriously injured and can no longer fight. Minister Hu also suffered serious injuries. Now he's hiding with Governor General Zhang and Vice-Chancellor Liu. The others, other than me, all the rank SXS died in battle. A few young people, after breaking out of the encirclement, their whereabouts are also unknown. Maybe, following old Jing's words, a look of grief flashed across everyone's faces. Among the 5 high grandmasters in Nanjiang, 3 entered the catacombs. 2 died in battle. Zhang Dingnan's mentality was also obliterated by half. This was Nanjiang's tragedy. 18 rank SIXS, 17 died in battle. This was probably the highest number of people who died in battle since the opening of the catacombs in all these years. After going through this battle, Nanjiang's local strength was greatly damaged. Could they still defend Nanjiang's catacombs? Vice-Chancellor Chun and Director Zhou both died in battle. Commander Bai murmured. NMU's Vice-Chancellor died in battle. The director of the martial arts dojo, with the most number of Nanjiang, died in battle. Nanjiang's Governor General was seriously injured and might not be able to recover his Grandmaster combat strength. Now, other than him, only the president of Nanjiang's Chamber of Commerce was still a Grandmaster powerhouse. However, that president's combat strength was average. Nanjiang's catacombs. What should they do in the future? They had only just entered. There was still a lot of fighting in the future. Nanjiang's losses in this battle were too heavy. Everyone's hearts were heavy. They could not care less about grief. The situation now was very bad. According to old Zheng, the other party had at least the full strength of a city. This was rarely seen in the past. Zhao Xingwu took a deep breath and asked immediately, "How is Guardian Wu?" Guardian Wu is fighting with another rank 9. There was originally another rank 9 outside the passageway, but he left in a hurry this morning. That's why I had the chance to enter. Did he go to surround and kill Guardian Wu? Zhao Xingwu's expression changed slightly. He said immediately, "The situation is not too good. Everyone, let's discuss. Should we follow the plan and enter tomorrow, or go to the rescue now?" "Let's enter now," Commander Bai said immediately. No matter what, whether that rank 9 has returned or not, entering now can reduce the pressure on the others. If we wait another night, who knows how the situation will worsen. What I'm afraid of is not entering at the scheduled time. The other party has given up on hunting down Guardian Wu. Right now, there are 2 rank 9s guarding outside the passageway, someone said worriedly. If there were 2 rank 9s guarding outside, although Zhao Xingwu was strong, he might not be able to hold both of them back. If that was the case, the others would be in danger. Although a rank 9 would not be able to kill a rank 7 or 8 instantly if the fight dragged on, the other party could definitely be killed. If they entered at the scheduled time, then Wu Chuan would definitely think of a way to hold the other party back and cooperate with Zhao Xingwu to open up the situation. However, if they dragged on for a night, what if Wu Chuan was surrounded and killed? Now, enough powerhouses had died. If another rank 9 died, it would be too much. Not to mention, there were still a few heavily injured grandmasters who were still in hiding. Once they were discovered, it would be extremely dangerous. Everyone pondered. Zhao Xingwu suddenly said, "Everyone else, don't go in. This time I'll go alone. Even if there are 2 rank 9s on the other side, and I can't kill the other party, I can still escape and fight back with Guardian Wu." Elder Zhao, this is too dangerous. There might not only be 2 rank 9s. If they were held back by 2 rank 9s, those rank 7 and 8 martial artists would also be a threat to rank 9. If Zhao Xingwu could not escape and was unlucky, it would not be surprising if he was surrounded and killed. Commander Bai said in a low voice, "Elder Zhao, is the passageway enough to support 2 rank 9s entering now?" Zhao Xingwu shook his head slightly, then said, "Even if it's possible, it's not necessary. When we enter more rank 9s, the number of opponents will increase too. The battle that was originally only between 2 cities may spread. Even if we win this time, Nanjiang will not be easy to defend in the future. Right now, it was the strength of 2 cities. If Nanjiang entered another 2 rank 9s, there would be another city joining the battle in the catacombs very soon. When that time came, Nanjiang's catacombs would have to face the strength of 3 cities. In a battle in the catacombs could bully the few with numbers, but humans could not. This was the tragedy of the weak. They could only wait passively, waiting for the other party to send out a corresponding number of powerhouses. Only then could humans increase the corresponding number of powerhouses to respond. As soon as Zhao Xingwu's voice fell, everyone's face showed resentment. Someone gritted his teeth and said, "At most, we'll fight to the death. This time, the few old seniors are ready. We're ready too." When Nanjiang's catacombs opened, many old grandmasters were ready to fight to the death. That day, MCMAU's old vice-chancellor was one of them. Unfortunately, Magic City's catacombs was the first to riot. Helpless, a few old grandmasters joined the battle in Magic City's catacombs first. However, there were still many old grandmasters who were ready to fight to the death. However, the government stopped them. It was understandable that the old grandmasters felt this way before it was time to fight to the death. However, if the killing was too intense, a war similar to the one in Capital City's catacombs would break out. Right now, Sino Nation could not fight such a war. Dozens of grandmasters would die in battle, maybe even more. It might even incite Monster Life Clan to retaliate, which would be detrimental to the overall situation. Back then, they did not know much about the catacombs, which led to the Capital City's war. In the end, Monster Life Clan and Monster Plant Clan joined forces. The higher-ups were worried that if such changes continued to be triggered, humans would be in an even more difficult situation. Everyone present was a grandmaster. They knew more about these situations. Although they were full of unwillingness, they also knew that if a large-scale battle was triggered, it might be more troublesome and worsen the situation. Zhao Xingwu did not say much. After a while, he said, "I'll go in alone. Unless someone else comes back, everyone else will continue to wait. No one is allowed to enter without permission." Everyone had no choice but to agree. This was also the best solution at the moment. Zhao Xingwu did not delay. Very soon, he stepped into the alloy house and stepped into the vortex. As soon as he left, the security around the passageway was no longer maintained. The people outside rushed in hurriedly. Everyone surrounded the grandmasters. Chun Yunxi asked hurriedly, "How is Fong Ping?" Commander Bai and the others' expressions did not change. They said in a low voice, "Everything is fine. Don't worry." At this moment, this news could not be spread. If they knew that in the catacombs, almost everyone below rank 7 had been annihilated, the people's hearts would be shaken. Despite Commander Bai's words, everyone still felt uneasy. They all looked at Old Zheng. However, at this moment, Old Zheng's injuries were too severe. He was already in a semi-conscious state. The military doctor had carried him to the military camp. They could not ask him even if they wanted to. After Commander Bai and the others sent these people away, they looked at each other with some bitterness. Nanjiang's catacombs was a little dangerous. Inside the catacombs, Fong Ping changed into a new set of clothes. He said confidently, "This time, Nanjiang's catacombs will be safe with me around." Old Man Li did not utter a word. "Old Li, let's join forces. 2 of us can destroy a city. Let everyone see our strength." Old Man Li glanced at him and said lightly, "I don't have that ability." "I do." Fong Ping grinned. "Now that you're not a burden, watch how I infiltrate the enemy's rear and kill them. You really want to go?" "Of course." Fong Ping said with a strong sense of righteousness. At the very least, we have to disrupt their headquarters so that their powerhouses can't continue to seal off the passageway. At least let our people come in safely. Old man, Li said no more. Fong Ping thought for a while and said, however, if we can lure that willow tree monster away, that would be the best. Old Li, why don't you give it a try? Old man Li did not say anything. He did not want to die so quickly. What a pity that you're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.